Hello everybody and welcome to the Comb Racing League. We are here today for round 15, the season finale for Tier 2. Once again joined by Hedgehog.
Good evening. Hope everyone's well. Looking forward to the final race. Don't seem like 2 minutes ago since we're in Australia for the opener, and it's gone very well. I say it's gone very quick. It feels like it's flown by, but we're here. It's the finale, as you've said, and I'm very much looking forward to this final race and seeing what the outcome is.
Yeah, the only championship still to be decided within CRL, I guess, other than the constructors. But that looks like it's going to be a fairly dominant Ferrari win. So we did have three drivers applicable for it. Nelly Saffir, the championship leader, Real DC, and then Cal Cohen, who has had to miss yet another race. This is his fifth race of the season he's going to miss, and he's still going to get third in the championship.
It's hard. I mean, I'm gutted he's not here. It would have been great to have had three of them fighting out.
He's been the best driver of the season. You know, he's only been in two-thirds of the races, and he's going to come third in the championship, not even all that far off the leaders. You know, absolutely hats off to him. Shame he can't be here. But that does mean we have a two-horse race for the championship between Nelly Saffir, who's got a 25? Yeah, no.
Yes.
23,
yes.
I don't know. 25-point lead over Real DC, who is yet to win a single race this season, which will be interesting. Indeed. So he's hoping to make this the one.
Well, listen, I mean, if he could win tonight, no matter what happens, it'd be a great ending for him, whether he wins the championship or not, to get his first win of the season. I know he's been craving for it when he's had many podiums this season. He's been in this chat many times with us after races, but not quite got the win as of yet. But what a way it'd be tonight to end the season with a win, and maybe ending with the championship. Just comparing the two drivers very quickly, I just had a look at a little bit of a fact file that's been put together, comparing Nelly Saffir. Of course, he's in the Aston Martin. He's formed that great partnership with Strauss this season, one of the strongest pairs in the Comb Racing League this season. DC had a couple of teammates, hasn't he, over the season? I always go back to the 1-2 that Red Bull had in USA. He's had a few teammates this season in the Red Bull, so he's not been as what's the word I'm looking for? He's not had a teammate all season in comparison to Nelly Saffir. He's had some very good reserve drivers that have fitted in over the course of the season. Of course, as you mentioned, Nelly Saffir won a couple of times. Three times, I believe, this season, actually, over the course of the season. Brought home 8 podiums, which is very impressive, may I add.
Yeah. Nice.
But the difference between the two of them, what I would say is, looking at the DNF, Nelly Saffir DNF 2 races this season. In fairness to DC, he's yet to have a race win, but he's also yet to not finish a race. He's yet to DNF a race this season. So something's got to give tonight. Comparison to the podiums, very similar. Nelly Saffir with the 8, DC just one behind with 7 this season. But of course, the big factor, as I already mentioned, is DC yet to win a race this season in comparison to Nelly Saffir, who has currently won 3.
Yeah, I mean, you know, DC is essentially behind. He needs a top 3 finish to win. I mean, it is that simple. If he does not finish in the top 3, he cannot win the title. Nelly Saffir, he's got it much more secure. If he gets a top 6 finish, it's his. He just gets it. So, you know, he really is. He's got the lead here going into this. But as we always say, it's not over until the checkered flag comes down.
No.
So, you know, we don't know who's going to win. It really could go either way.
No, it's wide open. It's completely wide open. I mean, look, obviously Nelly Saffir's the favourite. He's got a good lead going into the last race. I said 25 points is a healthy lead. Obviously, we can pick up a maximum of 41 in the race, 40 for the win, and of course 1 for the fastest lap. So 25 points is a fantastic advantage, but it's not done. You know, we've seen in the past, especially over recent weeks, Nelly Saffir's got himself frustrated in races. He's pulled into the pits and retired. I don't think he'll do that tonight. But we have seen in the past that he can have tough nights. You know, he's not untouchable. You know, he's not undefeatable. So this is not done. It's not done whatsoever. And DC, I mean, you've got to give credit to DC because for a majority of this season, we've mentioned Nelly Saffir and Cal Cohen. We've not really put DC in this title fight, and all of a sudden, due to the fact that Cal Cohen's not been here for a few weeks, and also due to Nelly Saffir with a couple of tricky results, it's brought DC right into the mix. And if he wins the championship from here, it'll be an unbelievable result because he could win it with no race wins, which for one is incredible. But also the fact that, like I said, we've been talking about Nelly Saffir and Cal Cohen, not really put DC in the title fight for a lot of the season. So it'd be that's for sure.
It was always the 2 Aston Martins and Cal Cohen. And Strauss has dropped off. Cal Cohen's had to miss so many races that you thought it would have kind of automatically gone to Nelly Saffir given those 2 things. But DC able to hold up, and he's still here. He's still fighting.
He is. He is indeed. This could be it. And I did speak to him before the race. He was telling me that he wants to become the first ever head admin to win a championship. All the head admins have yet to win a title in Combs. This could be another bit of a record break tonight as well. He is a season one. Obviously, debut. He's been here throughout the whole story in Cold Racing League. As you'd imagine, as a head admin, he's been here since season one. His debut was in Russia in season one. Nelu Safu, of course, has been here for a long time as well. He debuted in season two. I believe his first race was in Hungary. But he has only raced 25 races now, Nelu Safu. It's been a bit hit and miss, come and go for the last few seasons. DC currently raced 72 races. So, in terms of Cone, DC is the more experienced driver.
Yeah.
But interestingly,
sorry
only
to interrupt
5
you.
wins between the two of them. No,
to interrupt
okay.
you quickly. DC, if you are still listening to us, you can hop in for a quick pre-race chat if you still want to do it now with the amount of time you have. I've only just seen that message. But we might get a quick chat with one of our drivers, DC.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be great.
Yeah. I don't think I'd realised actually that Nelu Safu first joined in season 2. It doesn't feel like he's been here that long.
I had no idea. I'm looking at his races, only 25 races, and a lot of them have been this season. So he has been someone that's been a bit sort of, not hit and miss, but he's just not raced as consistently and as often as someone like DC. But 3 race wins in total for Nelu Safu that have all come this season. DC has won 2 races in the past, but of course yet to win a race this season. I believe he is with us now, I think.
Has he joined?
I am. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Here he is.
The man is going to...
Mate, how are you?
Thought I'd hop in. How are we doing?
Well, mate, how are you?
I'm good. You know.
How you feeling?
I'm all right. I feel like I've just got to do what I can do today. In my opinion, the pressure's on Nelu being the 25 points ahead. So
I would agree. I definitely agree with that. I think in terms of this final race, I think, like you say, you know, you're not expected to win this championship tonight, whereas Nelu Safu with a 25-point lead definitely is. But
no,
exactly.
You've
got to do your job, haven't you, and capitalise on any mistakes that he makes.
Yeah, and as I heard you guys saying a couple of minutes ago, I don't think anybody expected me about 5-6 races ago to be in this position. So just to be here, obviously, unfortunately, Cal Cohen missing out just means a minimum of a P2 in the championship. So, you know.
Yeah, it's been a good season nevertheless. I've just mentioned 7 podiums this season already, which is very consistent. You know, it's a good, solid return that whether you win the championship or not, to get at least 7 podiums, maybe 8 of course tonight, but it'll be 7 podiums at least this season. Like you say, a P2 at least as well. No matter what happens, you've took it to the last race of the season, and that's a great achievement in itself. Yeah,
and that's what I did last time I was in Tier 2. I think Jonathan will recall that. I think he was commentating at the time.
Yeah.
I sort of did a bit of a Tottenham. I finished 3rd in a 2-horse race. You know what I mean? But
Not
you know, like I said in my pre-race interview, I've just got to forget about that. That's done. That's 2 seasons ago. Just got to do what I can do tonight.
That's it, mate. Quickly, before you do leave us, if you want to get into the quality and get yourself going, but what are your thoughts on Bahrain? Is it a track you enjoy? Is it a track you like? Or is it a track you're not particularly keen on?
So this is probably one of my favourite tracks in the game. I just love the flow of it, but it just depends on everybody else's pace. I mean, got P4 here in Tier 1 a couple of seasons ago. You know, it's a track where I can show my pace, but again, it all depends on those safety cars, doesn't it? Because they seem to be the bane of my life this season. You know, it's all just situational, and I've just got to react in the right way instead of focusing on my pace.
Yeah, and well, my question to you is, what's your response going to be if you do see Nelu Safu has DNF'd? Because then all you've got to do is get on the podium and it's yours.
We don't like to think that way. I'm just gonna just take it as it comes. If that happens, I just have to just brush past it. I just need to do what I need to do.
I'd love to get his audio of that happening though, if it did happen. And I don't wish that on Nelu Safu by any means at all, but I'd love to get your audio, it pops up on your screen and what you'd say, because maybe we wouldn't be allowed to listen to it. It might have a few swear words in there, but I can imagine it'd be very excited.
But it's not something I can count on. It's a case of I've got to expect Nelu to be on top of his game like he has been all season. Yeah. And I just need to, like I've been saying, I just need to race my own race and do everything that I can do today.
I wish you the absolute best, mate. Hopefully, I mean, no matter what, I'm sure we'll get you in for a chat after the race, regardless of tonight.
Yeah,
They wouldn't feel right to not get you in after this season. So no matter what, we'll speak to you after the race. But hopefully, for your sake, mate, we'll be speaking to you as the new Tier 2 champion. But we'll see in about an hour and a half time. But I wish you the best of luck for the race, mate.
Never know. But cheers, boys.
Yeah.
Take care, mate.
Best of luck. Right,
it's nice to have a pre-race chat for a change, isn't it? We'd love to get Nello Saffron, but as we're both aware, he's a mystery man.
He did say last week, I made a deal with him, if he wins the title, he will join us. After it'll be his 9th podium of the season, so we've invited him 8 times before. He said no 8 times before. Number 9, hopefully. But yeah, interesting thing actually, I don't know if you've seen, we've got, is it 7 reserves today?
Plenty of. I was going to touch on that.
I know,
I don't
8.
know if it's 7, but it's a lot of reserves.
No, it is 8.
Which could make things. I mean, there's a few here that we're not too familiar on either. There's a few of them we've seen quite a few times this season, but there's a few here as well that I'm personally not too familiar on. So that could be interesting. You know what sort of pace these boys set, and it's the last race of the season, so they're playing for potentially a bid to get a seat next season. You have to get a good result tonight and put in a clean performance, and they've done everything they need to do before next season as well. So it could make things interesting. We've got a full grid still, I believe we have.
Yeah, so
looks like we have.
Interesting one to keep an eye on. Of the 2 reserves, 2 of them actually are. One of them, KXI. I'm pretty sure he's coming down from Tier 1 as reserve. He did win. Did he win last season? No, he was either he won or was the runner-up. I always forget which round
I believe KXI started in Tier 1, but he's now on the wheel in Tier 3.
Oh right, so
I believe. I may be wrong with that, but I'm pretty sure he's a Tier 3 driver on the wheel. He's made the move over to wheel this season from controller. So I think he had Tier 1 pace on the controller, but I think on the wheel he's now a Tier 3 full time, I believe.
Yeah, because it was last season. I've just checked. He was in for the title fight. It was him versus Steiny, those 2 battling away.
He was in the last race in Brazil.
Yeah, he just had such rotten luck. 3 times he got DNF through no fault of his own, and that was enough to losing the title by 10 points.
If I remember rightly.
Yeah, it was Bahrain.
Crash in Bahrain.
Who was that? Was it Jay Wills who spun him?
Jay Wills. Yeah, and there was obviously the big, wasn't there?
We had in
Brazil on the last race.
And then there's also one at Imola. So 3 times he got taken out. Really a shame for him, missing out with 10 points. But yeah, now the focus is on Nelu Safu in that Aston Martin. I don't suspect we'll see him going out for a while. And DC. No one left the track just yet.
And one thing we know for sure is no rain tonight. We're not going to get any rain. I don't think we'll see the other full wets in Bahrain tonight. So that's one thing we can rule out. I'm just keeping an eye on Marty, of course, not on track just yet, but he got an amazing result last week. I feel like we have to mention Marty's result last week in Belgium. It was his first ever Cone Racing League win. He was someone that's been towards the bottom end of the championship all season, but he pulled out an amazing strategy last week in Belgium and brought home his first win, and I think you'll agree, it was a fantastic performance from Marty last week.
Yeah, he's always struggled converting his qualifying results into race results, but he's finally gone ahead and done it. And it wasn't even the best qualifying result for once either, was it? He came from...
No.
Was it P11 he came from? So
yeah, it was quite far down. It was the strategy in the wets, wasn't it?
Yeah, changes things up a bit for him, but you know what, he'll be happy to take the win because that's what counts at the end of the day.
100%. I'm just on board as well with McConey. Mr. McConey getting a fill for Tier 2, of course. He was a race winner last week, his first ever Cone Racing League win. It eventually came. I know it was a bit of a meme, wasn't it? Was he one of the longest serving drivers?
He won on his 74th race, and even DC, the head admin who's been here from day one, has not done 74 races. So that just goes to show how many he's been here for.
Yes.
But yeah, McConey, it'll be interesting to see how he does, because obviously he's going to be towards the back end of the field, but you can't completely discount him because now, with so many tiers, just 1 tier apart actually isn't a massive difference in all things considered.
100%. I completely agree. I'm just watching KXI, of course. He's replacing Hobbsy. Hobbsy had a great season this season. Done a very good job towards that top end of the top 5 mix, isn't it, Hobbsy? But unfortunately, the first race he'll miss all season tonight, so no Hobbsy for the finale, but it'll be KXI, a more than capable driver in his seat. I believe that Alpha is also a reserve in the Alpha Tauri, funny enough. He's replacing Cal Cohen. Or is it? Because there's 2 Alpha Tauri reserved today, isn't there? Jay Bradfield as well.
Both Alpha Tauris and both Alfa Romeos have been reserved here. So to read the full list of reserves, we've got Christo in the Mercedes, J. Brad and Alpha in the Alpha Tauris. Is that Jenga in the Alpine? Leo and McConey in the Alfa Romeo. KXI in the Haas, who we're currently on board with. And then Lesty the Twig, who is in the Williams. So 8 drivers. I think it's the most I've ever seen reserve. Only 12 of our full-time drivers here today.
And it's very rare that a driver wins both the Drivers' Championship and the Constructors' Championship in the same season. But Nelu Safu's got a very good chance to do that here because Aston Martin are currently second in the Constructors' Championship. This was before, of course, Monday's Tier 3 and Tier 4 races that I will no doubt have changed that a little bit. But prior to round 15, Aston Martin come into the final round in second place on 1,470 points. Not too far behind Ferrari's 1,546 points. So a win tonight for Nelu Safu wouldn't just confirm his driver's title, it would also go a long way to helping Aston Martin potentially win the Constructors' title. So it's a big night for Nelu Safu and a big night for the Aston Martin team. We know how good Nelu Safu and Schuss have partnered this season. They've been a fantastic partnership, but it'll be a big night for them both tonight to try and bring home solid points to the Aston Martin team and put a fight on Ferrari for the Constructors' title with one race to go.
Yeah, first lap for KXI. It was a weirdly slow one. I thought it looked slow, but I wasn't too sure. Just pulling to the pit lane, McConey currently fastest with Alpha just a couple of tenths back behind him. We'll see who else we've got. I think we have Strauss coming towards the line soon. Yeah, he'll be the next driver to the line, and he is on the Inter tyres, living his best life. Not sure why he's on the Inters, but I really hope he sets the time on the Inters.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure that's the right tyre to be on, but who am I to judge? Just on board with Nelu Safu, who's just about to get his first flying lap underway as he rounds the final corner towards the line. Jenga Boy, one of the reserves, can I just set up his lap so high in the 126s? Here comes Nelu Safu then flying down the straight as his first fast lap begins. DC, just going out the pits on his out lap, DC at the moment. He's just going through sector 2 now, so Nelu Safu are going to be the first out of the two of them to try and set a lap. He goes through the first couple of corners very nicely, puts the DRS on and flies past Jenga, who's just completed his first lap in towards turn number 4. He rounds it very nicely and he's about to approach the chicane. But it's a big lap this for Nelu Safu, of course. Only Q1, the pressure's not on as much. The purple sector he's just set, very smooth through there. But he'll want no problems here. He'll want to get through nice and easily and relax himself before Q2.
And of course they have a bit of breathing room. Being so many reserves here, a lot of them coming up from Tier 3 in order to make up the numbers.
Yes.
There's going to be a bit more slower drivers in the field than there is on a normal day, and therefore those guys who are normally right at the front anyway, Q1's going to be a bit of extra practice before the race, make sure they're comfortable with the car, comfortable with the track, and they're happy with everything. So this might very well just be one and done, sets his lap, he's happy with it. We know he's a good qualifier anyway, you can see that purple sector from him. So, as long as he keeps it on the track, doesn't spin out, doesn't hit the wall, no doubt he'll be in Q3. It's just a case of what can him and DC do.
100%, completely agree. Like you say, Nelu Safu is more than capable of getting himself on pole. There'll be a few that want to challenge him tonight. I see what first lap he can put in. A 126.6 to beat, and he just goes second fastest behind the reserve of Leon. He did a very good job last week in the Alfa Romeo as well, Leon. He's one to keep an eye out on in qualifying. But Nelu Safu, that he'd be more than happy with that. You'd expect that to be pretty comfortable. He's only 19 as well. We're not got the full grid of 20. I'm trying to work out what constructor is missing. Looks like
it is Underboss. Can't remember what team he's on, but I did see Underboss was having issues joining the lobby. I think he's Red Bull, isn't he? So that's actually DC's teammate.
I mean, that's not a bad thing for DC. It saves any
no
stuck in the
stacks.
pits in the race. Not bad at all. One of the people that are still in the pits and yet to settle up is Deluxe. Now, he won here in the Tier 2 race last season, so he has got a good record in Bahrain. He's had a bit of a difficult season this season, Deluxe. Don't think he's achieved as much as what you'd hoped for, but he has won the Tier 2 race here in Bahrain last season. So he has done it before, and he'll be hoping to do that again tonight. And he could be one to keep an eye out on Deluxe tonight. Like I say, he's done it before here.
Oh, and there we go. That is what he wants to see.
He said he likes Bahrain, didn't he? And that's a great confidence boost of that as well. To do that in the first opening stage of the night. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not going to get him pole, but to get at the top already and get one over Nelu Safu, we feel good that. And that's first advantage of the night goes to DC over Nelu Safu. He's 3 tenths quicker, bang on there to the Aston Martin driver. So he'll be comfortably in Q2 now.
And we've got Cold Paradox in the chat. Currently in DC, taken away from the racing. So he's one of the people who has to have a reserve. I think he's Mercedes, so it'll be Christo replacing him. But Cold Paradox not able to be with us today, as he's on holiday.
Lucky him. Have a nice holiday. Here comes Dowill, who's just going to go set him up again. Goes fifth. Now he's got a great record in Bahrain. He's won here twice in the history of this league. Underboss has just joined, so we are up to the full 20. So that and about DC getting double stack could still happen now. But Duwell's actually won twice here in the past and got 2 pole positions here in the past as well. So another driver that is a bit of a love story with Bahrain. And one to keep an eye out on tonight.
Those wins, that pole positions, that would have been in Tier 1. I think it would have been quite a few seasons ago. Certainly this season, Tobe's going 10th fastest there. You know, Duwell never a driver to scoff at. He's got pace and he'll show it.
Well, he won in Imola. Was it Imola he won, I believe, as well this season? He has got a race win under his belt.
Yeah, around 12 or 13.
Oh, was it Baku? It was Imola. I think it was Imola.
No, it was Imola. It was around I wasn't here.
Yeah, he did a great job that night. Under a lot of pressure in the last stages of that race as well, but he brought it home and got a first win of the season in Tier 2. So like you say, he's a Tier 1 expert. He's been there and done it. So he could be the one tonight too.
Yeah, the only double champion in CRL, Duwell. 4 stars the next closest to that, as he's got a win in Tier 3, and he tied on points in Season 2 of Tier 2 with Panda. So he was 1 point away. He just simply lost because he had less wins. Yeah, it was really that close. I remember them crossing the line, doing the maths and thinking, oh, wait a minute, they're tied, who wins? So I didn't bother checking beforehand, and then it happened.
It's a shame that we've not got a few of our full-time drivers here tonight, because obviously the big talking point is the battle for the championship, but there's also quite a few other battles that would have been had, of course. As mentioned, Calcone would have been in the mix. He would have been here to make it a 3-horse race. Sadly, didn't happen. And Strauss hadn't actually confirmed his P4. He had Hobbsy breathing down his neck, but of course, Hobbsy not here tonight. So that does confirm that Strauss will finish in the top 4, which is a fantastic effort from Strauss. I mean, he was a Tier 3 runner-up last season behind Cole Paradox. So to come from Tier 3 as a runner-up and then finish in the top 4 in Tier 2 in his first season is an amazing effort from Strauss. And him and Nelly Saffo have been a brilliant team. And Marty sets a purple sector. Now, this is last week's race winner, of course. Had a fine race in Belgium last week to bring home his first ever cone win. He's going to try and get himself towards the top end here in Q1. He rounds the last corner in the McLaren. His teammate Tobes at the moment hanging on a little bit down 11th. Will he jump ahead of Tobes? Don't think he will. Oh, he might do, actually, looking at it. Yeah, he will indeed. He'll go 4th.
Also, actually, Claude Pierre before him, now been knocked down to 5th, but he went 4th fastest temporarily. And that's a quick time from him, because he's not usually someone you put towards the front of the order. As DC so confident in his lap, he's just decided he's happy to retire from the session. His lap will stay, and that's him settled down. He can have him. It's going to be an 8-minute break, isn't it?
It is. Put his feet up and get himself ready for Q2, but he'll be over the moon with that. I think both of them will be, both DC and Nello Safi will be over the moon with them first laps, and they're comfortably going to be into Q2. It's the first job done of the night. Happy days for them. Now, Underboss, of course, did join late. He is about to go on a lap, and of course, let's give him a mention as well, because he also got himself on the podium last week. He brought home a P3, which was his first podium of the season as well. So it was great to see last week that out of 2 of the 3 podiums, 2 of them were in the bottom of the championship. Marty and Underboss were both sat at the bottom 3 places in the championship. Both got a podium last week, of course, Marty with a win. So it was great to see that 2 of the boys that were at the bottom of the championship were competing for wins and podiums as well. So well done to Underboss for that result last week. DC did get a P5, I believe, in Belgium last week, which was 20 points. Nello Safu, of course, was out in Q1, I believe, last week, wasn't he? He didn't even set a lap. He brought home a P2
was
in
it?
the end.
I thought it was Q2. He just retired, wasn't it?
It may have been Q2.
He did Q1 and Q2 he just retired, and we never got a... Did we get a reason? I think we... I can't remember if we got a reason or not.
Hey, it worked though, didn't it? He got P2 in the end.
Yeah, right.
Of course, him and Marty benefited massively, didn't they, from the wet strategy. Obviously, going to rain, it worked out a treat. Somebody spun at the right hand of Nolly Marks and McLaren, letting an Alfa Romeo through. I'm just going to keep an eye on one of the reserves tonight, the Alpha Tauri of Jay Bradfield, who at the moment hasn't set a lap. He's currently in that drop zone with just over 5 minutes to go. He's a little bit wide there, rides the curb, but keeps it on the track. Doesn't invalidate his lap as of yet, but looked a little bit sketchy through there. Didn't look too confident through that corner. I do believe he's a potential debutant. I've not seen his name before, so I'm thinking it could be his first race.
You're right with that. Certainly his first race in Tier 2 that we've seen. So yeah, I guess we'll see how we do now. Coming towards the line, it's not going to be the strongest lap in the world, but let's see. It's the slowest lap as of yet, but only a 10th off of 4-star. And a second of improvement will move him up. Yeah, well, kind of. He needs about a second to find, so a lot more time to find. I don't know. I think he'll be hard pressed to get through, but we'll see how he does. Some drivers Some of them are slightly misplaced tier-wise, but I guess we'll find out. Certainly nice to be able to join the league and almost straight away have a race, because I think... Actually, I can find out when he did join. If I...
Just very quickly as well, a couple of facts. Education, as we call it.
Yeah.
For the last time this season, the final time, everyone knows I like to get a bit of information on the circuit in real life. And just give everyone a couple of facts. Sure, everyone remembers the facts in Austria about the deer on track, but nothing like that tonight. Quite simple. Lewis Hamilton knows the record for the most wins at Bahrain with 5. He also shares the record for the most poles with Sebastian Vettel. So nice little teaser there, nice little facts. With Charles Leclerc in 2022 getting Ferrari.
Jay Brad's out, he's hit the wall.
Ooh,
I was on board with him looking away, and suddenly I looked and he is into the wall. And that's the driver who won't be getting through. Oh, I've lost you.
I'm here. Hello. Hello.
Yeah,
hello.
no, I haven't lost you.
Sorry, my phone rang. Blame Chimp. Chimp rang me. I'm back. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. You said you seen it?
I was on board with it. I wasn't watching the screen. I was looking at my other screen at the time. So I'm gonna go back and quickly see what happened to him. But
that's him. Unfortunately, going to be starting dead last in this race, right at the back. Which, to be fair, I started dead last here on Monday. It wasn't the worst thing in the world because turn 1 can be chaos. It's such a narrow first corner. And to be fair, starting P20, it sounds stupid, but it's not the end of the world that at all. You know, you get your choice of tyre, of course, but also you keep out the chaos at turn 1, and it can benefit you. It's not the end of the world by any means. That.
Yes, I'm trying to see Nelly Safi. He's actually going for another lap here. So I'm going to have a look at this, see how he's doing. I don't think he really needs to push. He is half a tenth green from the first sector. So, I mean, yeah, if he wants to push, he can push. It's not necessary, though. He's already got that lap in. So we'll see. Actually, I think it does look like he's going a bit slower now. Hard to say. We'll keep an eye on him. Yeah, I've just finally got around to rewatching Jay Brad. He was 6/10 green, but it's that usual long right-hander that we're about to see Nelly Safi go here, where he didn't even touch the curb. He just started drifting wide, lost control of the car, and that was it for him. It's Nelly Safi. Yeah, he slowed down 4.5 seconds. Red. I think he's just decided he's happy with his lap, and so he should be. It's a plenty good one.
He's comfortably through. DC and Nelly Safi have both done their job very comfortably. Then what I want to see tonight is a DC and Nelly Safi top 2 on at the front. You know, starting on the front row together. That'd be
actually
very
did
exciting.
throw together a graphic I can stick up on screen of, depending on what the results are, who ends up winning. I assume Hedge. Have you seen this or not? I'm not sure you have.
I have seen it. You put it in the chat. I've got it saved on my phone actually here.
Yeah, so as long as DC finishes outside the top 4, Nelly Safi wins. But DC has got to finish. Yeah, he's got to finish on the podium. Nelly Safi 100%. Top 6, he guarantees a win. So we see KXI improving a bit there, but he still needs to find a bit more.
Now, what I would say about this is, I think Nelly Safi will be over the moon. There's a few reserves here tonight, and I don't mean that by disrespectfully, but there's a few here that have come up from tier 3. Of course, they're not necessarily going to have the pace. I'm not saying that McConey and KXI are slow by any means. They're not slow at all, and they can get results. But I'm sure Nelly Safi would sooner face a handful of reserves that are not as experienced, rather than the likes of Big Balls, etc. Hobbsy, we all know they can compete for results. And again, I'm not saying McConey and KXI can't, for example, but I think it'll suit Nelly Safi more, knowing that there's a few reserves in tonight. In this race, he's still on track now. Nelly Safi, still trying to beat that time of DC. Clearly, he's won it, isn't he? He's not going to improve here though by an absolute masterclass through the last corner, because he's 5 tenths down. He's not improving. But I think tonight, Nelly Safi, knowing only the top 6, which is not easy by any means, but it puts him in a great position. That DC said before in the pre-race chat, he just got to do his job. He just got to do his job and just hope for Nelly Safi to make a mistake or for a bit of good luck. And it can happen. It can definitely happen. You know, a late safety car in the race. We've seen that before this season, haven't we? Brings everyone together. And, you know, DC's got a chance, but it's definitely Nelly Safi's for the taking. I would love Cal Cohn to have been here tonight as well, just to really mix it up. Unfortunately, that's not the case.
So I've just had a look, and yeah, Jay Brad is very new to the league. He only joined on the 2nd of May. So this really is his first race.
Love that.
So yeah, obviously, you know, shame for him. His first lap was 6/10 green after I think it was the first 2 sectors. I think he made it to the end of the second sector, but he was kind of a little sideways. So we'll just see how he does in the race. Yeah, that's his time to make up for it as we now come into a close of the session. Keep an eye on Underboss. We know he's quick. He got a podium last time out, so we're hoping to do better than just P19 in qualifying. Was it? Yeah, P3 for him. You can see that got previous top 5 up in the top right corner. You can see that Marty's win.
Oh, that's the hats off. Who's that?
That'll be Lars.
Yeah, it's Lars. He had a tough night in Belgium. Remember that big crash he had on Hedge Corner last week?
Yeah, that was
him and Pickle.
Yeah,
him and
huge
Bosman
crash.
Pickle, the reserve, took them both out of the race, and he had a tough night last week. Lars, and yeah, to be fair to him, I think he's through here by the skin of his teeth. So he's a lucky boy. Tobe's also going to be through in the McLaren. He doesn't improve his time though, Tobe's. Now, speaking of McLaren, they've never won a race here in real life. It's one of the tracks they've never won a Grand Prix. So can Marty or Tobes change that tonight? Well, no, Marty can. He got a race win last week. Tobes will be hoping to push into Q3. I think he has just confirmed his place into Q2. Looks like Christoph KXI are gone.
Underboss not through.
Gone as well.
Missing out by a tenth. Also, Panda, thank you for the reminder.
He goes through.
I'm an idiot for forgetting to check that. But yeah, the game volume is now
What's
on. I had the PS4
yeah.
audio off earlier when we were just chatting. We were still loading up, and I forgot to turn it back on when the qualifying started. But we can now hear the engines.
The in-game sound.
Yeah. You can hear us, you can hear me, but yeah.
Happy days. 4-star did make it through by the skin of his teeth. He does put himself in Q2 with a 13th there, so you can see the bottom 5. Christoph, who's a reserve, Underboss, as you mentioned, podium last week. KXI reserve. Trunders, is he a reserve or is he full time now?
He is full time. So he's got that Ferrari seat, and actually he's looking to get the constructors because of it. Him and DeWilt.
Yes.
Ferrari currently
and,
leading.
Jay Bradfield, as mentioned, is out as well. With the big crash, isn't he? The big crash for Jay Bradfield. But looking at Nelu Safa and DC, the amount of confidence he'll get from that, of course, it is only Q1, but to be 2 tenths quicker than anyone else.
Yeah, and you look at
section,
how close the other times are.
Yes.
What's that there? 11th, 12th, 3,000ths apart. I think I saw another one that was nice and close like that as well. It's going to be a really close Q2. For me, Q2 is always the closest one. And then Q3 drivers start pushing a bit much. And you start to see more mistakes come through. And also just, the top drivers give them the top laps that they can. But Q2 always feels like the closest one, where those times are just stupidly close. Although there was first round of the season in Australia where 2 drivers tied on points.
Seems like a long time ago, doesn't it? That.
Can you imagine if we
I
get
do remember.
DC and Nelu Safu tying on points? What a spectacle that would end up being.
That was Cal Cohen and the Ferrari. Who was the Ferrari? He's not here anymore, is he? He left. What was he called?
Hang on, gotta check this.
Oh, mine's gone blank. He was someone that qualified really well, but he had no luck in the races. He had that DNF in France as well, didn't he? Right at the start on the first lap. I can't remember his name. Mine's gone blank. I'm sure we'll be able to find out. But I remember him. He was competing really well, and he got a joint pole, didn't he, with Carl Cohen? I remember his name though. Mine's gone blank.
Yeah, I'm trying to look back now. Anyone out on track? Oh, yeah, immediately got both
Leo.
Alfa Romeos, Leo and McConey.
Can't remember his name. Mine's gone blank. But I do remember him being very, very unfortunate in the opening few races, but his point pace was fantastic. As both Alfa Romeos are very close together. I have got, obviously, we heard from DC, one of the title contenders before the race in the pre-race interview, but I have got a couple of quotes here from both drivers who were interviewed prior to the race. Nelu Safa, of course, 25 points clear. It's in his hands going into this last race. Now, he said it would be a shame for Cal Cohen not to compete, but of course that is the case. Unfortunately, Cal Cohen not here tonight. It seems too easy to collect points, and I'm not motivated. However, I will focus on finishing as high as possible to become champion. So, Nelu Safa clearly thinking that because Cal Cohen's not here, he's not been as motivated to compete at the top. Cal Cohen obviously was battling fantastically with Nelu Safa for a long, long time this season, but Nelu Safa clearly saying that, you know what, because he's not here, I've actually not enjoyed it as much. I've not felt as competitive. I wish he was here to compete with. So, of course, it's a shame that Cal Cohen's not here. But interestingly, he has looked. I know he got a podium in Belgium now, exactly, but a couple of races before that, he had a tough couple of races in Imola and in Baku. So maybe that motivation is right. They'll be open to put that to bed tonight and bring home the
well, I think for Cal Cohen, it's all been work related. You know, he's been called in and he can't do anything about it. So it's such a shame for him because it's no fault of his own. He wanted to race. If he could have been there every day, I'm sure he would have been. But to miss 5 races and still get third in the title, it's absolutely mad. I mean, he's 5 points off. Sorry, he's 2 points off DC, 25 points off Nelu Safu, despite having so few races. I mean, it really is.
Safe to say, if he'd have been here for every race, I think he'd be going into the last race now as champion. If not champion, he'd be the favourite, wouldn't he?
Yeah, definitely. I think he probably already got it if he'd been in every race. And I guess.
Well, in fairness to Nelu Safu and DC, they've been here every race, haven't they? That's what helped them out. They've been here every week and competed every week, and that's what's helped them. And then Alpha Tauri off there. Is it Alpha? It is Alpha. He's on the off.
Oh, is that Marconi? Do you mean? Oh no, Alpha Tauri. Wait.
Yeah, sorry, did I say Alfa Romeo? Sorry, Alpha
No,
Tauri.
you didn't. It's just me being a plonker.
All right. Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but going on to the run-off area, it is a tough section to navigate into Sector 2, that. And very quickly, of course, we heard from DC before the race, but this is what he said in his pre-race interview. He said that the elusive win has been something that has been playing on my mind all season, of course, referring to the fact he's yet to win a race this season, but I feel Bahrain might be the one. To be fair, looking at the Q1 times, he might be right. He was fantastic in Q1. I need to forget what happened in Season 4, referring to his last race. Well, he was in this position in the last race of Season 4 as well, but of course didn't happen on that occasion. To be the first head admin to win a championship would be huge, and it could be tonight. Could we have a first ever head admin to win a title in Coma? I mean, it would be great, but you never know.
We've had admins win, but never had admin win.
You never know. There's a Strauss. This is an interesting one. A couple of drivers going for the mediums. Now, it is a interesting strategy, Barry. I did manage to do a soft medium here on Monday. A soft medium is doable. It's not easy, but it is doable. But the other option is a medium hard. I mean, there's a few, to be fair. You could do a soft hard, medium hard, but I think soft medium could be one to do tonight. Again, it's not easy to do soft medium. You have to look after your tyres, but it is doable. It is very doable.
Yeah, the two guys we're keeping an eye on. It is going to be DC, the first man to set his lap. Who's trying to set his on mediums. Nelu Safi jumping straight onto the softs. Actually, next car on track behind DC. They're quite a way back. Is DC fastest of the guys on mediums. They're not able to break through any of the times that are on the soft tyre. So we'll have to keep an eye on this. Nelu Safi round the last bend. It wouldn't surprise me if he jumped straight to the front. But certainly I'll expect him at the very least BP2 as long as it's a strong lap. And yep, straight to the front for him. He's got that by 33 thousandths. So not a huge margin, but they're very, you can't criticise him. He's the fastest driver so far.
DC, to be fair, the fastest on the medium. So Alpha Tauri's off again. It's Alpha again. He's having a tough night so far, Alpha. That's 2 off now in this Q2 session as he goes through the Rolex barrier. Clearly not a fan of Rolex. Wipes out straight away.
They're all for show.
But DC, the quickest medium run, and Nelu Safi the quickest soft run. I mean, so far it's putting all the ingredients together to be a brilliant battle between the two of them, who are clearly setting great pace in the early stages of qualifying here. But you've got to put Strauss into the mix. You've got to put a couple others into the mix as well. It's by no means whatsoever a necessity for these two to win this. I mean, I said DC could win this race tonight, and it might not be enough. It still might not be enough for him to win it, but he's just got to do his job, like you were saying earlier on. He's got to do what he needs to do. If he can get a win, get a top 3, he's done his job there. Yeah. He just needs to have a bit of luck along the way.
Well, I think DC can win, and yet still Nelu Safi could come 6th, beat him. Yes. That's how much of a lead Nelu Safi has now. It's not completely said and done, but DC really does need a good result. First and flying lap is ideal for him, but I mean, even then, even if he can't get fastest lap, he wants to win. If he wants to get the title, win's the best way to do it. Nelu Safi, I guess he can just guarantee himself a podium. We know he's fast, we know he's capable of podiums. It's just a case of going out there and doing it. So
like
obviously,
you say, he's in a great position in Nelu Safi now. He knows what he needs to do. He knows that it's well in his hands. But at the same time, you mentioned the lack of motivation. I have seen that and noticed it with his driving over the last few weeks. He's got to make sure he don't creep into you tonight, because it could very easily go the other way. And like I say, DC could be there to capitalise if something goes wrong.
Yeah, well, if it wasn't for Azerbaijan when he retired mid-race, he very well could have already had the title.
Yes.
And he's really going to be kicking himself if that's what ends up costing him. Because even if it's just a few points difference between them at the end, he could have easily got those few points finishing last, because it still would have been in the points with how many people had DNF'd at Baku.
Well, look at Mazifi, who ended up winning that race. He actually had a drive-through penalty in that race. He could quite easily have DNF'd in the pits and give up, but he didn't give up. He did the drive-through penalty, and he still won the race. He's not here tonight, which is a shame, because he's another one that's had a really good season. But you know, he could have given up as if he didn't give up, and he won the race. He got his rewards from it, like you said just then. Even if Nelson Safford would have come 13th, 14th, 15th, them extra few points there would have been huge going into this last race of the season. Like I say, DC's not DNF'd all season. So he finishes races no matter what, and that's why he's here tonight, DC. He's not won a race, but he's here every week.
Yeah.
Well, the same about Calco, and he's also consistent. He finishes no matter what. He gets every point that he can get.
If Nelly Safu had finished that race, DC would have to get a top 2 finish, not a top 3 finish. So by not finishing that race, even finishing 13th, he's given his rival another position he can afford to get and still be applicable for the championship.
100%.
I'm trying to see if anyone is actually out track setting laps at the moment.
Lars is just about to get underway. Oh, no, he's not just about to get underway, sorry, he's just going through the first sector. Ignore that. Marty's on a lap on the medium score, fast with the race winner.
Just had a moment there for him though. Actually was quite lucky to not invalidate. Went over the curbs.
Yeah.
Over the white lines.
Oh, I think Marty drink driving tonight.
He's pushing the limits.
Of course, he's a race winner. I've mentioned he did a brilliant strategy last week to win these.
Yeah, I mean he's a qualifier, isn't he? I think last week was a fluke. Oh, it's a fluke. He'll happily have. He had the strategy. He won the race, but ultimately his skill set lays in qualifying, and I suspect we'll see that come through today. It depends. If he tries to take the mediums through, if that risk ends up paying off, not. If he decides, you know what, I really do need to go from the softs to get through. You can see currently the slowest soft time is still 10th and a half. Faster than the fastest medium time. Yeah. Actually, I hadn't seen that lap, but Leo a 1:26.1. Wasn't paying attention, but that's nearly half a second ahead of Nelly Safu. So, definitely the strongest lap we've seen so far from any driver, Nelly Safu. I wonder if we'll try and push to hold that, I'll just be happy with this 26.6. Because the 26.6 is probably safe already.
Oh, I'd say so. Here comes Marty then, looking to get towards the top into the safe zone. Only just 10th on the board. I'm trying to get through on the mediums, and at the moment it's not going to work for him.
Yeah, had that mistake.
Oh, where's Lars going?
That's almost exactly the same mistake that I was just about to say Marty made. And again, not invalidating despite going over the white line, but it will cost him some time.
Track limits.
Oh, is that another one? Oh!
How's he not retired?
Lucky boy.
Lucky. Yeah. He's lost an end plate. He's had to pit. And what's he doing? I mean, this is not allowed either. Can't be doing that.
Yeah, they're told to not do that.
You've got a steward here. You're not going to get away with that. But yeah, he's lucky there, Lars, that he's not put himself in the wall and retired. And luckily for an end plate, but he's had to pit now and hasn't got loads of time left. So he's going to be pushing it, Lars, now to try and get through. 4-star also yet to set a lap. He's in the pits at the moment, so I think we'll see him again. But Lars will be pushing it a bit. It's going to take him a good minute here to get into the pits, at least, and he's got to come out again. So he's not going to be left with loads of time here, Lars. That's all, as Marty goes past him. Not great from Lars, that.
Yeah, trying to see if anyone else on the lap, because he's always kind of looking around, seeing who's on the lap, who's not. I think McConey going for his first one on the softs. We'll keep an eye on him. The now race winner looking to make a mark in Tier 2, potentially to drive in Tier 2 next season. Although, it seems more likely he'll be in Tier 3 as we now have even more drivers. Deluxy happy with his 26.6.
Yeah, last season's race winner, Deluxy, of course, in Bahrain. And his groove now in the Mercedes. Lars into the pits. 4-star into the pits. McConey 3/10 up as he goes through Sector 2. The reserve Alfa Romeo, of course, last week's race winner in Tier 3.
And we've managed to miss DC, who is now on a lap on the soft tyres. He is 9.5 tenths green, a purple middle sector for him. He's looking to beat Nelly Safi's lap already. Possibly even catch up with Leon with the last sector.
He was the quickest in Q1, wasn't he, as well? So he's clearly got pace in Bahrain. He loves the circuit, and at the moment it's looking like his words are correct. Where will he go then? He'll go up to second, and again, I mean, it's quick. It's very good. Very, very good from DC. I mean, you're going to get so much confidence from this. Of course, you don't win the race in quali, but to be in the mix in Q1 and Q2, and not just in the mix, but to be quicker than a lot of them by quite. I mean, it's 4/10 on Nelly Safi. That's a lot.
McConey would be happy with that.
That's a lot. Oh, it's brilliant from McConey.
Yeah, great.
He's not quick enough.
Yeah, he's within a tenth of Nelly Safi. That's got to mean something.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Here we go now. I'm on board with
open,
Strauss. He's got 10th in the first sector over his previous lap. Currently the slowest time on the soft tyres. We know he's not a slow driver. Was at one point in the championship battle. Falling away from that now. But wouldn't hurt to win another one. Has he won any races this season, actually? I'm trying to think. He's certainly been on podiums.
I don't think he's won a race. No, maybe that may be wrong, but I think he's like DT had quite a number of podiums. I mean, there was a time in the season, wasn't there, when Cal Cohen, Strauss and DC were in every week with us, chatting to us. But no, I don't think...
Oh, no, he won round 2. He won at France.
Oh, okay. Long time ago, that
he has a purple middle sector for him now. Car ahead of him. I'd assume that is going to be DeWill. But actually, might even get a little bit of a slipstream from DeWill here, maybe. Slightly too far away. It seems DeWill about to start a lap himself. Who's going from the mediums to the softs.
Too strong again there.
Yeah, 3-4.
As mentioned, they're in a constructors' battle, aren't they, with Ferrari? So that'll give them confidence going into the race. As for Ferrari, DeWill, the only Ferrari representative in the top 15, so it's down to him. Try and score Ferrari some good points. But as mentioned, he's a 2-time race winner here and a 2-time pole sitter in Bahrain. So he clearly has a good relationship with this circuit. If anyone can get a result here, it's him as he goes through sector 2.
Oh, is that
he's not safe yet, was he? Only in 9th at the moment. He's not currently in the safe zone, if you like, but it's marginal.
Fastest time on the mediums and setting his first lap on the softs now. I think all the drivers have realised they're not going to get through on the medium tyres. It's far too close and the mediums are far too far off the pace. I did mention a very small possibility of McConey being Tier 2 next season. What I kind of completely forgot is next season will be on F1 2022, assuming that all works. Actually, the next thing that will happen cone-wise, we've got plans for the Cone Cup coming up. I think they're going to announce that at some point. And that should be great fun.
Always a nice that drivers get to mix together in the Cone Cup, you know, Tier 1s with Tier 4s, etc. Working in a team, it's always been a great way to get everyone involved and give everyone an opportunity to compete for a prize. Here comes DeWill and does jump up to 8th. He's not safe there, but...
No, ideally he'd want a bit more time on that, wouldn't he?
PR up. Jenga's up by 7/10, so looking quite good. 7/10, so will that be enough? He is quite,
4-star 11th fastest, Jenga 9th fastest, knocking PR out. Currently sitting behind...
Marty's looking good here, though.
Close.
Here comes Dalfa, who goes up to 3rd.
Ooh, that's an improvement.
Marty's also up to 11, so's Lars. Here comes
Lars. Watch Lars. He goes 13th fastest, so Lars out of this...
Last week's race winner, Marty.
Marty P11, not enough.
Was he P11 last week though in Belgium? Maybe a good omen.
Club PR next man, I think he hasn't got enough. He's P9, knocking out Jenga.
Is DeWill through? I don't think he is, you know.
So Tobe's going to be safe here. And he's on a slow lap anyway, it's not time to improve. Who's this? Leslie the Twig, next driver towards the line. He's 2.5 seconds green and a bit more, and that would be enough if he can pull that off. And that potentially knock DeWill out. Is DeWill on the fast lap or not?
Yeah, he's on a fast lap and he's a 10th up DeWill, so he's actually pushing again and at the moment improving. So I didn't realise that. So we'll see what Leslie does now. They're reserving the Williams, just going a little bit wide there. I can't will that cost him. He's currently got a 27 dead.
Yeah,
does
P6
improve
for him.
Very well.
Knocks DeWill out, and I think if DeWill improves, that's going to be PR knocked out of the top 10.
I think he will improve.
Yeah, P5 for him. He knows what he's doing.
McConey's hanging on. Will Jenga knock out McConey?
Oh, we've got both 4-star.
Knock out McConey.
Didn't see how green 4-star was. Wasn't looking away, but he's got a lot of time to gain. Half a second off the rest of the field. No, stays for P15. Jenga going into the pit lane. McConey's done it.
What a man.
Coming up from Tier 3. And there we go.
Brilliant. Well done, McConey.
But at the moment,
guess at that.
Leon and
Nelly
DC.
Safi will be. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's not a lot in that. When you look at Alpha in 3rd, down to McConey, it's just over a 10th. But Nelly Safi at the moment, not the quickest on the soft. DC in the early stages there looked the quicker driver out of the two in qualifying. I think that's safe to say. If you can put together Q1 and Q2, it's not often this season though. We've put DC as one of the favourites in quality to get pole, but I think tonight you could put him in that.
I think he's really pushing for this time. I don't know if you've had a look. The entire top 10 within half a second.
That's great.
And actually, the top 2 themselves, a huge gap over the rest of them. So if you look from Alpha down to McConey, he's less than a 10th and a half. That's 3rd to 10th, 8th drivers within a 10th and a half of each other.
McConey for pole.
The Coney for Paul. Yeah, well, I'll support that idea. We can dream. Not sure the dream's going to come true, but we can dream.
Hey, you never know, do you? Stranger things have happened. You never know.
And,
the main talking point there is that both of the championship contenders are into Q3 fighting for pole, which you'd expect.
Yeah, and there we go. Leon, DC, hugely ahead of the rest of the field. By comparison, Nelu Safu down in 8th. But you can see here, Clerpiar, Jenga, Marty, Lars, and 4-star knocked out. Both Alpines knocked out. Actually, Aston Martin still got both their drivers going forward. Same with the Ferrari. So constructor-wise, the fight's still on. I don't know if I've seen the numbers post Tier 3, Tier 4. But Ferrari did have a decent lead after the end of round 14 from all the tiers. So certainly in their favour, but can go either way. I would suspect it to go to Ferrari unless Aston Martin have very, very good results. Actually, have I seen the results in Tier... I'll have a look at the Tier 3, 4. A Ferrari got 1st and 5th in Tier 4. And then Ferrari won both in Tier 3 and Tier 4. I think the constructors may be set then.
Yeah, they're looking quite strong then, aren't they?
Given how many points are up to offer, I guess it is probably still going to be possible for Aston Martin to draw it back.
Just like real life, Ferrari could win the constructors this year as well, couldn't they?
Yeah, I've always been a Ferrari fan since I started watching F1.
Oh, yes.
So, yeah, makes me smile to see them winning. Especially after I had a bit of a flop last season, Season 5 of CRL.
Yeah.
We'll see who's going to make the first move. Leo going to be the first man out on track.
This is it, the fight for the final pole of the season. 14 rounds ago, we were in Australia in Melbourne. As you mentioned already, it was a joint pole position between two drivers. Surely that can't happen again, but you never know. As the 10 of them fight out for the final pole of the season. Both DC and Nelu Safu right in the mix here. And of course, every position counts in qualifying. Of course, there's no points for qualifying or anything, but to get on the front row for DC, I mean, it'd give him such a huge boost before the race even starts.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if I can find anything about that joint pole. I'm still trying to remember it. I'm looking back in the channels to see what I can find.
Who was it? Krishna, was it?
Who was...
Was it Krishna?
It could have been.
It might not have been Krishna, but his name just popped up in my head. I swear it was Krishna in the Ferrari.
So he was he Ferrari this season or last season?
This season, because he was the one who got the joint pole with Carl Cohen, I believe, in Australia. I'm sure it was.
It certainly sounds possible from what we saw. And then, of course, DeWalt took a seat, didn't he?
I think that was it. Yeah. I think we're right there.
It's Leo doing his outlap. Going to be the first man to set a time. Oh, yeah, just an outlap, but invalidates it. Yeah, Leo's going to be one to keep an eye on, isn't he? We might see him on pole position. He is one of the reserves, isn't he? Keep forgetting who they are. Yep, he is. No, he is. Sorry.
The reserves in this Q3, I think, are Lester, Leon, and Alpha, and McConey, of course.
Yeah, so half of them. Reserves. Sorry, 4 out of 10 of these guys are reserves.
As you mentioned, Leo will be the first to take a lap here in Q3. The fight for pole was on. He's one of the favourites. He was very, very quick in Q1 and Q2 with the likes of DC. So I think, for me, on paper, of course, not race on paper, but I think the two favourites here are between Leon and DC. I think maybe someone else could spring a bit of a surprise, but I think Leon and DC are the two favourites here.
Yeah, Nelu Safu, surprisingly weak given quali. Seems to go off to be one of his strengths.
Was McLaren off in sector 1?
Oh, that'll be Tobes.
Looks like Tobes. It is Tobes. And that just started a lap as well. It's not the start of Q3 you would have wanted for. No damage, but
got all his front wing, but possibly a bit of a bruised ego and a bit of bruised confidence. Still time left in the session, but he'll be hoping to improve that. Just under 9 minutes remaining, so plenty of time to get his job done.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of time for him to hit and go again, but it's not the start you want, is it? As Leo approaches sector 3, he's going to be the first driver ready to get a lap on the board, riding the curve a lot there. He's off the track still now, going down the straight.
He's not got his ERS on, so is he actually pushing for a lap, or is he perhaps going to come into the pits? No, he is going to cross the line. We'll see what he sets for his first lap then. Coming towards the line, he sets a 1:26.3. So a very
Tony's
strong lap
next.
compared to what we've
His
seen.
teammate, Tony goes 26.8. Not bad at all. Here comes a Mercedes of Deluxe. Of course, last year's race winner in Bahrain, looking to do it again tonight.
Ooh,
Between
another
them both.
26.3.
And it's DC next. Well, we've seen his pace in Q1 and Q2. We know he's very quick around Bahrain. It's going to be a big night for DC tonight. Regardless of whether he wins the championship or not, it could be his first win of the season, which I'm sure he would absolutely love. Where will he go in? There's been 3 that have set laps already. Will he go to the top of them all?
No.
Will he go third on his first lap? Again, there's not much in it, though, is it? It's just a 10th separating the top 3. Marginal in it. It's Aston Martin's the next. Is it Nelly first? It is.
No, it's Strauss. Strauss has got a purple middle sector here. So it'll be interesting to see how he can do. He's had good result with his win all the way back in round 2, how many months ago that was. Do looking to hoping to get back on top of that form. But generally, you always find throughout the season drivers improve on pace, especially those at the front of the championship, because they just get motivated to go faster and faster each round to try and outdo each other.
Strauss only 5th there. Let only Safu go. He'll go at the top and that. And now, advantage swings back to Nelu Safu.
Yeah,
and
not
now. There's still a long way to go in Q3, but at the moment, Nelu Safu setting the pace.
Yeah, now it's not the quickest time we've seen so far yet today, but I think that might be quicker than DC's time last session. Cannot for the life of me remember what his time exactly was. Trying to see if anyone is currently on a lap. They're all just coming through on end laps, which I suspect
It's
will
free
be
them
the
still in the pits
case.
as well, isn't it? That haven't even set a lap yet. So be less than an hour from the pits.
Yeah, well, we saw Tobes come out, make that mistake in the first sector, and then so I can go into the pit lane. Actually, DeWill is improving. He's got nearly a 10th, so I guess he wants a bit more wear on his tyres. So keep an eye on him. He does have an Aston Martin ahead of him, which I suspect Nelu Safu will need to move out of the way of him. Of course, Bahrain, a great track for that. Nice and easy to just move off the line, stay out of the way of drivers. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how many people do get caught out, because I seem to remember back when I used to play F1, it was this long right hand that you get on the curb and it just spits you out, it spins you almost immediately. I might see some very heavy crashes there. Mr. Will, avoiding the curve, they're getting as close as he can, using all the track, perhaps turning in slightly early, not getting the full opening of the steering wheel. He would have liked to get more acceleration, but does look fairly good coming down towards the last corner. Wasn't paying attention to what his improvement was after the second sector. He'll know whether or not he needs to come into the pit lane or go towards the line. He is going to finish this lap, and we'll see where he slots into. He goes P4, gaining 1 position over DC, gets him by 3 hundredths. I'll be happy to gain any time he can.
Just over 5 minutes to go in Q3. Of course, most of the drivers now in the pits, apart from 2 of them now. But you'd expect every driver to prepare for one more push, the big push, the final push for pole position in the next few minutes. As mentioned, 5 minutes to go in the final Q3 section of the season as this season. Season 6 comes to an end. It's been a brilliant season no matter what happens tonight. We've seen some incredible races in Tier 2, incredible moments, incredible victories for many drivers as well. No matter what happens tonight, I think we give congratulations to them all, because it's been a brilliant season no matter what. And whether it will be DC or Nelu Safu, whoever doesn't win it, it'll have gone very close and will be very unlucky no matter what happens. Is there a possibility it could be a tie break? Is that some kind of... I know that obviously Nelu Safu would win it on race win, wouldn't it? But is there a possibility they could both end
on
the
equal
same
points? I was doing the maths and do you know what? I honestly can't remember. I think there were some ways it could happen. So Leslie now starting his lap. I made a little spreadsheet so I can keep track when I made that graphic. I'll get that back up. I don't actually stuck the points in myself.
Because of course it normally goes to race wins, doesn't it? So Nelu Safu, of course, with the win would win it anyway. But I'm just thinking, could the end on the state? I mean, it'd be incredible, wouldn't it? Surely there's a way they could. Obviously, I'm not sure what that way is.
Let me whip out my calculator so I can do the maths.
you don't want me doing maths. I didn't pass maths. There's no point in me doing maths. Just on board with Alpine and Lesky. Just set a purple sector going through the first sector in the Williams. The reserve of Lesky, currently 9th, not set a lap as of yet. There's only 3 minutes to go now, so we're approaching the final moments here in this session. There's all 10 of them still battling it out to take the final pole position of Season 6 here in Tier 2, round number 15, I believe, in Bahrain tonight. Let's keep an eye on Leslie then, as he does go through sector 2. Let's see what his middle sector... Oh, he goes a little bit wide there, a bit of a wobble. He managed to keep it on the track. Let's see what his middle sector's like. Will he get a purple one of this as well? He will! So at the moment, Leslie looking pretty quick here. Could he be a surprise for Cole? Let's find out as he approaches the final corner. He's got a 1:26.2 to beat, currently ahead of our champion Nelu Safu. He rounds last corner here, Lefty. He's looked pretty quick throughout his lap. This could be a great lap from Lefty. I think he'll be well in the mix here. 1:26.2 to beat, only 26.5 then. Was his third sector a little bit off the boil maybe then? It's a shame that, but again, not much in it. It's only 3 tenths in.
Could be down to setup. Of course, the third sector very much low downforce wanted, whereas the middle section and quite a bit the first sector as well. Having slightly more downforce could give you an advantage over the other drivers. So of course, setups coming into play here, potentially making the difference. Okay, so they can tie on points. I found one of the ways. If DC wins, Nelu comes 7th and gets fastest lap in 7th, then they will tie on points. There's possibly some more ways. I haven't really go through and doing all of them, so I'll keep an eye on the racing, but it is possible.
Hey, you never know. You never know. 2 minutes to go. Nelu Safu in the pits at the moment. He's not come on. He's got to hurry up, Nelu Safu. He's got a bit of time here, but I mean, is he done? Is that him done? I mean, I don't see any movement there. He's got time.
No, he's moving. Look, he's in first gear, so he is about to leave the garage, and there you can see the Aston Martin.
Okay. He's left it late. Yeah, he's moving now. You are right. Here comes the Alpha. The one that's set pace here, not set that the yet, but he looks like he could challenge here for Paul. Where will he go? He'll only go 7th in the end for 26.3. He can go again though. Potentially. There's a William Williams, so that's left. I think his qualifying could be done and dusted. Who's next? And DC on an outlap.
It's going to be Tobes is the next man to finish his lap. I assume, I hope Leslie for his sake he's going to try and get for another one. But yeah, into Q3 first time, you can't scoff at that. So we'll see if he does get around to another one. What's his car looking like? Has he been saving the RS? I don't think he has the fuel for it, to be honest. He might just about. Here we go, Tobes sweeping through the last corner, and he's got time for this plus one more lap. I think that's all he's going to have time for. Yep. Only 1 minute 6 on the clock as he crosses the line. And you know what? He's gone fastest. That was not what I was expecting to see.
Wow. Where's that come from? Where has that come from Tobes? Got a rocket on the back of his car. Wow. DC a 10th up here.
Oh, and Strauss is invalidated.
As he goes through sector 2. Tobes, where is that? That's an underdog story in itself. That is a ridiculous lap. And at the moment, he's jumped Nelu Safu for pole. Will just cross the line. He will go. Is he just gone 5th, or is he going on a lap now?
It was an outlap.
I said he was 3 tenths up. That's a weird one.
So I think the next man is going to be, maybe just a really quick outlap. Next man's going to be Alpha. Strauss invalidated his current lap, so I wonder if he'll even make it to the line where he is. He's the driver who just started the last sector. Shall I hop on board with Alpha to see what his time is as he crosses the line, and hop back on board with one of our championship drivers?
Alpha,
well, I guess he's going for the next one, isn't he?
I don't think Strauss will make it. I don't think he'll make it. It's going to be so close.
He's 3 seconds green. I don't think he's pushing enough. Is he going to make it?
Has he done it? He has done it! He gets pole now by a second. That's ridiculous.
DC.
Oh, DC!
2000s!
Look at that! He edges it above Tobes. That is huge.
Right, McConey next man.
McConey.
Wiggles his car, not improving in the end. Next man then. Tobes also invalidated, so it won't be him. It will be then Leo, the next man, and we know he's quick. We've seen.
He's 3 tenths up.
Oh goodness, yeah, and that might even be 1:25.9.
Look at DC's time though. He creeps out of Tobes. It might not be enough for pole, but it'll be enough to finish ahead of Tobes. Will Leo then take pole for now ahead of DC? He's got a 1:26.215 to beat. He looks very quick here, Leo, and he is very quick. He does beat it. Will goes up to 5th. So all eyes now on Nelu Safu, who's currently 4th. Yeah. Can he jump up ahead of DC? That's the big question.
So he had 61 thousandths, and that is enough to get him to P2. If he has a good last sector, he does have P2.
And Nelu Safu will be on the same row. That'll be interesting. Let's see.
I think it's going to be second Nelu Safu, 3rd DC. But here we go. No,
he's not jumped.
Stays 4th. Had a bad last sector.
Wow.
Leslie in the pits. Strauss. Of course, we got about Strauss because he crossed the line right at the end. So we will see.
He's done.
Nah.
He's done, that's it. So Leo takes pole, because Alva's off, he's done. So DC gets the advantage in quality over Nelu Safu by such a fine margin. I mean, look at DC, Tobes, Nelu, and I think it was Doolittle, all in the was it the 26-2s, was it?
Yeah, so close amongst those guys.
But I think
yeah, no, because we had 26,
yeah, look at that.
215, 26, 217.
I mean, we mentioned Leo, right, he's quick, but DC won't care about Leo. He'll care that at the moment he's clearly the quicker driver. He's been quicker in Q1, Q2, and Q3 over Nelu Safu. Okay, there's not much in it, but he's quicker, and that'll give DC a lot of confidence. It's not often this season that DC qualifies ahead of Nelu Safu. Strauss in the end, but I think Strauss a bit disappointed in that. Only 10th. McConey, great effort, qualifying 9th, by the way. Great effort from McConey.
I'm still amazed how well Tobes did. I think Tobes is the big surprise here.
Yeah, I think Tobes is a bit unfortunate not to get second there. Very unfortunate.
Yeah, well, DC said he made a mistake in the last corner. Wouldn't surprise me if Nelu Safu did the same as well, given he lost time to his previous lap. In that one. Yeah.
Sets us up very nicely for the race, that's for sure.
I'll bring back up the standings just so we can have a look. Cal Cohen, I will remind you all, not racing today. Having to miss his 5th race of the season. So it is just those top two, Nelu Safu versus DC for the title. 40 points available for a win. So it's not like he's got to win in Nelu Safu DNF. As you would. Actually, I'll quickly stick up the point system if I can. I assume I've got it up here somewhere. Yes, I do. There we go. Nope, I did it wrong.
Could you imagine if we'd have loaded into the race and there was rain? Could you just imagine?
So yeah, for those who don't know, there we go. There's the point system. You can see. And DC going to have to get a top 3 to even consider getting that championship. Nelu Safu, top 6, he confirms it for himself. Doesn't even need the best result in the world. He just needs to basically not DNF and do half decent. So, you know, he is in the better position. He just needs to race his best race and hope he gets it.
That's it. That's all he can do.
And
that's all he can do as we await for the formation lap for the 15th and final time here in Tier 2. Will it be the Aston Martin of Nelu Safu or the Red Bull of DC that takes the Tier 2 title? We'll find out in about 45 minutes' time. I mean, who knows? It's going to be wide open. I mean, of course, Nelu Safu has this healthy 25-point lead, but that can very quickly be down to nothing. And like DC said earlier on in the previous interview, he's got to do his job tonight, just bring the car home and finish in that top 3. And he's got all the capabilities here, DC, to win this race. We've seen how quick he was in qualifying, of course. So there's no doubt at all that if he was to get his first race of the season tonight, first race win of the season tonight, it could be here. Let's see the strategy. Then let's see what size everyone's on. Majority going for the soft, which is surprising. Only 7 on the mediums. The highest medium runner is Jenga. Marty again. Well, you noticed Marty last week went for a different strategy, didn't he? And it worked out. So Marty also opting for the mediums, but quite a lot on the grid there. 13 of the 20. Going to start on them softs. Them softs won't last you too long. They max out at about lap 9, but of course it could be an early safety car, which would indicate a lot of pit stops, I'd imagine. But they do normally max out about lap 9. These softs, at the very, very maximum. So maybe a soft medium without a safety car. I think if a safety car comes out early, a lot of these soft runners will come in the pits and possibly put hards on, maybe mediums on. So it'd be interesting.
Was that Jay Bradford who kind of got to go off the start? I've just seen these.
Still in the pits, he's not even ready for a race.
No, but catching up with the field now. Guessing a bit of a more extreme tyre warming as he can push his car a bit more to catch up. Yeah, I mean, I'm really looking forward to this race. It all comes down to this. We've had 14 races already, 3 of them sprint races where extra points up for offer. And after all of this, DC, yet to win a single race, is up for that title.
This could be it. Imagine he wins the race tonight that wins the title. I mean, it'd be incredible. And like you said earlier on, no disrespect to DC, I mean, he agreed with us when we said that for a lot of this season, he wasn't even in the title picture. It was Cal Cohen and Nelu Safu. No one even mentioned DC. But he's raced every week. He's not DNF'd a race. You know, he's consistent. He brings home points every single race, whether it's a win or not. He brings home them points. He gets plenty of podiums. Nelu Safu on the other hand, who didn't start very quickly this season. He was behind Cal Cohen for the first few races, but he he all of a sudden hit this great form, won 3 races this season, on the podium nearly every week. It's going to be a great end. And
there we go. DC and Nelu Safu currently driving inside each other, whether deliberately or not, I'm not sure. But
that could be interesting at turn 1, couldn't it? Bit of a collision between the two of them, let's see. But here we go then, as we wait for Jay Bradfield, who was sleeping at the start. I hope he's not sleeping at the start this time. But our drivers approach the grid for the 15th and final time in Season 6. Will it be DC or Nelu Safu? We'll find out over the next 29 laps here in Bahrain. But bring it on. Let's see what happens.
Bring it on indeed. Leo on the pole as a reserve driver. DC will not want him to get in the way of pulling away from Nelu Safu, but I think that might end up happening. And here we go. Drivers now getting ready for the lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights are up. The drivers, there we go, away we go, and a better start for DC than Leo, but also Nelu Safu, a very good start. I think DC might get straight up to the lead, though Leo
wheel to wheel
covers him off. Nelu Safu alongside DC on the outside, and this should be good. And Nelu Safu's through, he's up into second, he's now challenging for first, he's leading the race.
My word. What a start! Wow. Well, Leo's going to come back at him here, and so is DC, but is that the start of the season?
Yeah, DC alongside Leo, he's going to try and get back up into second.
The top 2!
Oh, DC so nearly DNFing.
Oh my god.
Penalties picked up further down the order, but 3 positions gained.
Wow.
Tobes dropping down the order a little bit there. My goodness, he was so close to his race ending there.
I tell you what, is that the race start of the season from Nelu Safu? That was electric. He's gone already. Look at him, he's gone. I mean, DC's done everything he needed to do. He's second, but Nelu Safu with 3 overtakes, and he's nearly his second up already halfway through the first lap. I mean, that was ridiculous. What a getaway. And DC and Leon having that massive impact. I thought they were both going to come off. I mean, luckily for DC, he got away, but we're going to see a wheel to wheel action between the two of them, aren't we, over the next 29 laps. But Nelu Safu, I mean, that was amazing. What a start.
Yeah, exactly what he needed, and he's made it work. Now here he is, 7/10 up the road from his championship rival, saying, "This is mine to win, go away, I'm just going to run away with this now."
Not sure what happened to Jay Bradfield, but I think he was sleeping again at the start. He's nowhere near the pack. He got a penalty as well, so not too... Has he got damage? I can't tell. Doesn't appear to have damage, but he is pitting, so I'm guessing so. So not a good start to the night for the reserve in the AlphaTauri. Christoph and Forster wheel to wheel into someone. There's 3 of them. Trunder's in the mix as well. The battle for P15 in that final point position, and for now, the Ferrari of Trunders holds on. There's a yellow flag though. Oh, it's Leslie.
Yeah, he's off.
Span round in the Williams. Not out of the race, but he span round as Marty on the inside of Jenga. Last week's race winner is Jenga. Held on both these drivers, had a good start. They're up 2 places. The wheel to wheel, it's George Russell from this race last season in that same position, and Marty gets past him. Marty, we know, of course, had that great strategy last week from down in the midfield, up 3 already, so a great start for the McLaren driver. Not a good start for Tobe, though, who's lost 3 places on the start, and not a good start for Leon either, who's lost his pole to both Nelu and DC. Of course, no DRS just yet.
The gap's further up the field quite a bit bigger. It's this battle further down in the kind of mid to low teens where really everything's kicking off. Although having said that, McConey is just behind Tobes with Strauss right on his tail. There is this 3-way battle for P6. But Tobes getting distanced by the top 5 already, who are still within DRS range of each other. They will have that from the second straight of the next lap.
Well, DC, to be fair, a lot of Nelu Safu have gone at one point, but DC is starting to really Nelu Safu that gap now down to just 6 tenths. We'll see who sets a quicker lap out of the two, and it's DC. Yeah. DC's setting a quicker lap than Nelu Safu, and to be fair, he's reeling him in, of course. No DRS yet. Here it comes now, though. And because the top 2 in the championship go wheel to wheel very, very soon on this straight, DC will have DRS here on Nelu Safu. Will it be enough of it? It's only quite a short run down this one, so it may have to wait, but look how close he is now. This is a perfect scenario as a neutral, seeing these two so close together.
Yeah, no, you always hope to see the 2 championship rivals battling away, and that's exactly what's happening here. Not too much wheel-to-wheel action between the 2 of them just yet, but you know, they're that close together. There's 3 DRS zones on this track. I reckon we're going to see plenty of overtakes going on between them.
A very clean start, to be fair. 3 laps in doesn't seem to have been too much chaos. I mean, the yellow flag, wasn't it, for a spin at the back with Leslie, and of course Jay Bradfield had a bit of a nightmare start, but all 20 drivers still here for now. Most of them in close proximity. Look at the train going down that straight now. It's crazy. DC will get DRS again, but of course, again, it's not the longest one. You have to wait for that that long straight. The yellow flag now, like Jay Bradford,
yeah.
nightmare, bless him, in the reserve AlphaTauri. But I think this could be DC's chance on the next straight as we approach lap 4, because he's only 5 tenths down here. As we know, it's a very long DRS straight, the longest out of the 3 here in Bahrain. So this could be DC's chance to retake that lead from Nelu Safi, but we will see.
Yeah, here we go, hunts him down, does seem to have a quicker exit using his ERS, getting that DRS, going to pull him in. You can see that time gap closing down hugely. You can see him closing up alongside on the outside line and flying past Nelu Safi, had the overspeed and got the move done. Now, will this be the case of what we saw in this year's Grand Prix, where we had Leclerc deliberately letting Verstappen through on the straight, only to get him straight back on the next one? I don't think it is. Nelu Safi too far back. And perhaps seeing on threat from Leo, who we know, very quick driver, from how he did in qualifying. Yet to know what his race pace is really like.
It's been a very good start for Deluxe, of course. He did win it last year, so he's got the taste for it. He's up 2 places, and to be fair, very quickly they're making this a 4-horse race. He's right on the back end of all 3 of them here.
Sorry to interrupt, there's a huge battle here for P12. They're going almost 3 wide through the S's there. And then Marty coming out on top, Alpha and Trunders, still side by side. Perfectly side by side. Neither driver really having the advantage here, of course. Alpha with the inside, but Trunders can try and push it around the outside. Just give me a wonky camera angle. And they're still side by side.
I'll tell you what, it's very quickly becoming a 4-horse race. The rest are struggling to keep up. Deluxe just about got the DRS from Leo there, which just kept him in the mix. But Deluxe up 2 places, I've mentioned, he started well. You know, he's got the pace here in the past, and of course we'll expect a safety car later on. But at the moment, it's very quickly looking like a 4-horse race. These 4 are looking like the quicker bunch compared to Doolittle and Tobin, etc. that are a little bit further down. McConey, though, up 2 places, 7th, looking no place out of shape whatsoever. He's well in the mix here. Could we see a race lead again here from Nelu Safi? This time on DC, there's not as much room there. Has he got the move done? They're going to go wheel twirling to the first corner. The 2 championship rivals, DC, looking to retain that P1 and gets it. And also gets the DRS as well, which should keep in the lead.
Oh, Nelu Safi. Wheels
so close.
And Nelu Safi forced
the lead.
Nelu Safi forced to slot in behind. You saw DC, the tyres catching on each other there. Not able to get past because of it, but in the end, just get the move done. Oh, sorry, hold off.
Wow.
The Aston Martin driver.
That could have been tasty. Wheel-to-wheel contact between the 2 as well. But Leon and Deluxe here, doing a great job here. Just stay in the mix and wait for their chance. Looked like Marty had a bit of a spin, didn't he? I think at the final corner of the previous lap, he's down 4 now.
I didn't see that. I was too busy focusing on the battle to notice.
Yeah, I just saw a yellow flag and a McLaren off the track. It looked like it was Marty. He's lost a few places now after a decent start as well, which is a shame for last week's race winner. But the 4 of them here having a great battle. I mean, what DC and Nelu don't want to do is let Leo and Deluxe to get too close, you know, and risk any sort of unnecessary contact. But at the moment, I'd definitely say it's a 4-horse race for now. I mean, there's a train behind. They don't seem to keep up at the moment.
Interesting they dropped DeWill, because DeWill, he distanced Tobes and actually moved with the lead group, so I don't know at what point he got dropped off.
Yeah.
But I guess it's good for 2 front runners, and that means 1 less person to challenge them. Because if it's this group of 4 that stays ahead of everyone else, no safety cars, actually we are yet to see any, then that works just fine for Nelu Safi. Going up the inside. Oh, DC braking later, and I think that's the DRS reasons. We'll see if that works. Nelu Safi a bit slow on the exit here, though. Just started to pull time. Has a moment there. We'll see if he can go for the move. Looking to the inside, decides better of it. Really weaving here to get that pass done. Not able to do it, going to have to sit behind in the S's here. But he's using his tyres more than DC from the looks of things.
Yeah.
We'll see how that affects them.
I think, like you say, it was he was waiting. He backed out that move into turn 1 to try and get the DRS into the next section, but of course had a poor exit and didn't get his opportunity. He'll get another chance here though, but again he's got to try and make sure he gets a good exit in. It's not great in comparison to DC. DC getting a better exit there. He may just be able to put pressure on, but he won't be able to make a move here. But I will say the top 8 all on the soft. These softs will very quickly die here. I mentioned lap 9 maximum for these softs. I think you'll see pit stops over the next sort of 2, 3, 4 laps from these drivers, that's for sure. And maybe that'll be the big call. Do you opt for the mediums? Do you go for that soft medium run, or do you play it safe on the hards? That'll be an interesting strategy here, and it'll be interesting to see what DC and Nelu Safi do. But also Leo and Deluxe, who are doing their job here and keeping in the mix.
I'll tell you what, Nelu Safi too far off DC here. As long as DC has a good last corner, which it seems he does, Nelu Safi not going to be able to get near enough here. Nelly's going to have to worry about from behind.
Because Leo's not too far behind. Strauss made a lovely move there, and Tope will lose 2 places here. Here comes McConey. McConey up to 6th. He's flying. What a race from McConey so far. He said he wasn't quick enough. I think I mentioned that before, but he's doing a great job, McConey, and up into 6th, clearly proving that he's not out of his depth here at all in this tier. And again, DC keeps ahead of Nelu Safu.
Yeah, it does have about 15% less ERS. Then all that is just a little bit of saving it a bit more through the corners. You know, that will matter, it does matter, but it's not the end of the world, and he can quite easily pull that gap back in if he needs to, ERS-wise.
I'll tell you something, McConey's really needing Strauss here as well, and he'll get the ERS on Strauss here on the next straight. McConey's having an amazing start to this race. I think he should be so proud of himself because he won the Tier 3 race last week. The amount of confidence he'll have got from that will be huge, but fair play to McConey. What a good start to this race as a reserve. Really well done to him so far, and well in the mix for a top 5 push here. I
wonder if that was a mistake from Tobe, so just simply letting Club PR through. I can almost certainly confirm that Club PR and Tobes are in a pass together as he spun. Oh, no.
He touched the curve and he had a bit of a wobble, but I thought I jinxed him then. Commentator's curse, but he's okay.
He is out of... Is he out of DRS? Oh, I think he just missed it by 1,000th. Well, hopping more to the lead battle though is Nelu Safi closing on DC. And I think, is he close enough? Yeah, up the inside again. We'll see what DC does in response. Nelu Safi slotting in front. DC going to be the one with DRS along the second straight. Nelu Safi slightly parking on the exit there. As Alpha gets speeding in the pit lane. Penalties.
I think Nelu will hold it here. I think Nelu will hold it for now, and he will. The switch through. Dual standing his feet now, no fastest lap. Tobes and Alpha, the two soccer runners that are pitted first, but of course Alpha getting that unnecessary penalty speed in the pit.
DeWill's gone soft. I didn't notice him pit, but he's gone soft.
Ah, yeah. Good point. I didn't notice that either.
And if there's another safety car, that may very well be the perfect decision. Depending on when that safety car is, what happens and everything.
Who pits first out of Nelu and DC? I mean, it's still a 4 straight. To mention Nelu, DC, Leon and Deluxe is still well in the mix here. And doing a great job just to keep themselves attached to that top 2 of the train at the front. They're doing a great job. Who pits first out of this lot? I mean, there's no doubt it's a 4-horse race for the win at the moment. Who pits first? I mean, they're all due a pit stop very soon. Them softs will start to really struggle now.
Yeah,
and it's set to pit stop soon.
If drivers do that trick that Alonso did, getting the slipstream while going into the pit lane, that is against CRO rules. They will be penalised. They follow someone into the pit lines and then cut across them. If it's only like a minor, I think there was someone who only did it a little bit last time and they were let off because it wasn't deliberate. But
DC's going for it.
And
so
Leo following him. Deluxe's staying out though.
Yeah, it's a bit interesting because 2 of the top 4 pitting and 2 staying out. So let's see how much it will benefit DC. DC going for the mediums. Leo going for the mediums also. Yep. But did Leo get a Delore? McConey's double stack. No! Oh no! That's going to cost him a lot of in there. Not sure what. Obviously not speaking to each other, are they? What a shame for McConey. I mean, to be fair, has he lost that much ground? Yeah, he has, hasn't he? He's lost quite a lot of ground. Oh no!
Oh, we got a yellow. We got a Strauss off middle sector, and that is a. Has he got damage? I think he's just off. His tyres look very unhappy with him, but no, his car's intact.
Are you surprised McConey pitted there?
I'm not sure. How much has he lost? He's not too far.
It doesn't look he's lost a few. He's not lost a position.
Ooh.
But it looks like he's lost a good few seconds.
This is bad for DC. Leo is fighting DC. I'm not sure. Leo being in reserve, I'm not sure how much he'll actually be paying attention to the championship battle. But either way, he's pushing for positions.
He wants his race win.
Yeah, he wants his race. I mean, I don't know if he knows he's affecting the championship quite this heavily, but. We'll keep an eye on Nelu Safi.
He's got double the battery of DC as well, so that could be interesting. Let's see where these 2 pit then, Nelu and Deluxe.
Yeah, both into pit lane from the look of the minimap.
Let's see then. I mean, has DC and Leo fighting each other maybe hindered them a little bit? They've got a bit of traffic in front of them as well. The yellow flag, it looks like, is it Alpha? No, it's Bradfield again, isn't it? It's off.
Yeah, he seems to really be struggling here.
This is big, this though, for DC and Leo. Can they jump the 2 of them? It's a lot of cars going down the straight. Looks like Nelu Strauss, sorry, in the pits as well.
Do you know, I think
Here
we're
we
going to end
go.
up Leo
Oh,
going
DC's
for the
in
move on
trouble.
DC, and they're going to come out alongside. You can see there Nelu Safu. Where's DC going to end up compared to him in the braking zone? Nelu Safu, of course, on the fresh tyres. Contact
Leo
between
and
Leo
Nelu,
and
they
Nelu.
contact.
DC on the outside, going to have to be careful for contact. Decides to back out of it ever so slightly. But of course, there's a little bit of time when Nelu Safu's tyres haven't quite warmed up, and DC needs to pounce now. He needs to get past
Going for it. He's going for
Leo.
it.
Try and get
Can
that
he
move.
make
They're
it
still
stick?
side by side though. Move
Oh,
not yet complete. And DC is
wow.
now up through into 10th position, able to try and reel in Nelu Safu while he's on still fairly fresh tyres, but
Tell
already
you something,
he's missed his best opportunity.
It's not the first time these two have fought in this race, DC and Leo. And to be fair to the Luxie, he's doing a great job of just keeping out of the fight but staying in the battle. You know, he's not really been in that top three fight just yet, but he consistently stayed with them. And I think the Luxie could be on to keep an eye on him. He's done a very good job in this opening 10 laps of just staying with the pack. No DNFs just yet, no safety cars just yet, but a few penalties in Jay Bradfield's. Poor guy's having a nightmare.
Chancey's about to retire in the pit lane. Well, we'll see. I don't know if he's
Okay.
changing tyres. One thing we do need to keep an eye on, or remember, is Nelu Safi does have a habit of picking up penalties. Alpha has gone for a spin. The other Alpha, Tari, has now gone round. Still got his front wing intact.
Blur PR pitting, Lars pitting as well, so a lot of the soft runners now coming in for their medium time. No one's opted for the hard, which is interesting. Nobody else again looks like it's Alpha again.
J Brad has gone on to the soft tyres, but he's now in lap traffic, so he's going to be giving, is that Marty? He's going to be giving Marty a little bit of DRS hit. As DC still having to defend from Leo, and I think Leo's going to get through here. Yeah, Leo alongside him.
I think he is. But DC will fight to the end there. These two have been very aggressive, but a great battle between the two. They've made contact on a couple of occasions, but Leo there, a lovely move on DC, and that's not what DC wanted at all. He's now split Nelu Safa and got Deluxie as well, reeling him in as well, so it's not good for DC. He will not want to be behind Leon for too long in this race.
Yeah, I mean, DC knows he needs a podium. He's seen the numbers. He needs to be on that podium.
100%.
So first thing he needs to get up there. Currently, depending on how you view DeWill net P3 or net P4.
Yeah, I think, I mean, for now, Nelu Safi will be he'll be over the moon. 11 laps, he's had a bit of a fight, hasn't he? He's lost a couple of positions to DC and got them back, but the main thing is, he's currently in the net lead for this race, and that's all he needs to do tonight to bring home the championship. So far, so good for Nelu Safi, but DC doing a great job, you know, he stayed in the mix. Well, on for a podium at the moment as well, but needs to get past Liam, because at the moment, Nelu Safi is starting to pull away from him at the moment. And Nelu Safi are going to get DRS here, of course, from DeWill as well, which will help out. DeWill, of course, doing that soft, he's going to be very quick over the next few laps. KXI makes a move on 4-star, and the reserve of Jay Bradfield gets away the reserve, the Ghost. He's now a ghosted car, Jay Bradfield, at the back, which isn't ideal, really, is it? But nothing we can really do about that.
Leo going a bit
Marty gets a
deep
penalty. Marty getting a penalty, which is a shame. The top 5, of course, all of them, the old mediums yet to pit, but they'll pit possibly onto the softs over the next few laps. Will, of course, with that soft off. Great strategy, to be fair. I like the idea of it, but you'll have to pit again pretty soon. The mediums.
J Brad's on fresh softs. He's not letting them through. I think he's going past them. He's overtaking them. He's overtaking 4-star on KXI here.
Love that.
I mean, he's gone straight on. I think his controller disconnected there, or wheel or whatever. I was on board with him, and all of a sudden he just went in the straight line. I wonder if he's having technical issues there.
He's not had a great night, has he? The poor guy. But the top 4, net top 4.
Hopefully, I was just about to say, hopefully it doesn't bring out a safety car, but there we go, safety car.
Oh, he's stuck in the wall. He's not moving.
Yeah.
He's stuck in the wall. He's now been DSQ'd.
I think that must have been a wheel malfunction.
Now, what I will say here is, of course, it's not necessary. I'm not saying it's his fault. We don't know what's happened, but it's a really cheap safety car, and it could affect this race massively now. And the top 4, I mean, Nelu, Leo, DC, and Deluxie are in a league of their own here, and all of a sudden that changes a little bit. So it's not a great safety car. You can't help it sometimes, but it's a very cheap safety car. And they're coming in again, aren't they?
Penalties under the safety car. Come on.
That's poor.
No, Joe Brad's just said his wheel is completely done. Not quite that word in, but
what a shame for the Luxie, that is. What a shame.
So to Will pitting, where does he come out then? On the mediums, down in 15th position. 4-star and Marty, of course, on the older tyres. They're sitting behind the Aston Martin safety car. Yeah, from the sound of what Jay Bradfield's saying, it's all down to his wheel. So that's a shame for him. Always annoying when your technology doesn't work on you. But from what we've seen so far of the race, by the way, Hedge, I can't hear you if you're... I shouldn't be muted actually. From what we've seen so far of the race, Nelly Safi is going to have this in the bag, because if him and DC keep fighting, if they're next to each other at all, even within 2 positions of each other, Nelly Safi wins, and he's showing the stronger pace here. You know, he is the driver who seems to be doing better, and if he can finish ahead of DC, even slightly behind him, he's still going to get the championship. So very, very much in the favour of Nelly Safi championship-wise so far.
Apologies, I am back. Apologies,
He's back.
Letting my dog out.
So it's always a strange moment when we get that much silence for you. I always think something's wrong. You can always...
No, it's not often I'm very quiet, is it? I am back. I was listening to you. I just picked up on everything you said. Yeah, it was a strange safety car, of course. I mean, listen, you can't help it sometimes. Things happen. A cheap safety car, you know, an unfortunate one. But what it does do is it brings everyone back in. No one's been lapped, so everyone's back in the mix.
Yeah, apart
Alpha,
from...
of course, is different behind, isn't he? But he'll
Alpha
catch up.
Tauri, not a very strong race here. One driver, wheel issues, who was lapped actually at the point where he brought out the safety car and then got disqualified. I'm surprised he didn't go to quickly pick up his controller. Because if you're fast, I mean, it depends where your controller is, you can press the options button and let your AI take over.
4-star and Marty, you're not pitted yet, have they, which is interesting. Very interesting strategy.
Yeah, and Jenka on hard tyres.
Yeah, a couple on the hards, isn't there? There. Underboss as well. KXI went for the softs. I mean, he's not getting them softs to the end, that's for sure. There's no chance. So that'll have to be a pit again for KXI towards the end of the race. I mean, you can push, I'd say, 10 laps at the very maximum on the softs. You're not going to get any further than that.
Now, the annoying thing here is, I don't think Alpha's going to catch the safety car queue before the safety car decides if it's coming in this lap or not. So I think safety car's going to finish lap 15. We're going to be racing from lap 16, giving us 14 laps left of racing. I think we're going to have this lap plus one more. Depends if it catches or not.
To be fair, it suits Nelly Safi. The longer on the safety car, the better for Nelly Safi. It's frustrating for DC. At the moment, he's helpless in terms of what he does under a safety car. Like I say, it was an unfortunate safety car, but these things happen. And like you say, if Alpha doesn't get his foot down quick, we could be looking at another lap here, which DC's not so
what's
great.
Strauss done?
Dropped.
What's he doing?
No wing on the car. That's all.
Oh, yeah, none. Wow, well, he'll be hitting this
If you're
lap.
behind Strauss now in the queue, you're in trouble here. Because if he does come in this lap, he can't turn his car, so you're going to be behind straight away. I think it'll come in this lap. I think Alpha will catch up very soon.
And if Alpha catches...
come in this lap here.
Yeah,
If Alpha catches, KXI downwards...
The decision's going to be made... It's going to be decided in the next few corners, isn't it? I don't know whether the specific mark...
Oh, and his Jenga lagged out. He's got a red connection thing. He's ghosted on my screen. Possibly lagged out there.
Could just be paused, but yeah, at the very least. I didn't see if he left the second
safe
safety car.
car.
It is.
Strauss. That's going to cost, and it's going to cost everyone behind him as well, because it's going to be a very slow last corner from Strauss with no wings. So if you're KXI, a little bit of frustration here at the restart. You know, there's a little bit of time.
Oh, hopefully
here we go, then,
Leo doesn't go. Yep. Okay, Leo being very sensible there, not going too quick, encouraging the drivers behind him to bomb it.
Oh, what's happening with the top two?
Is it?
Oh, Marty's not him.
Is
Can't do that.
Wait, who is it? Is it? It's 4-star. There we go. He's gone now. Good restart by Nelly Safi. DC seems to be fairly strong as Strauss straight into the pit lane here. Deluxy already overtaking behind Marty, doing a little bit of weaving there. As DC on the outside of Leo, already looking to get up into that P4. He's alongside him.
Oh, McConey's off. No, McConey's off. Oh, Marty's gone as well. A big spin from Marty. He's off the track. He's doing a lot of weaving, so his tyres weren't right. They weren't right, you could tell.
Yeah.
A lot of weaving there, and he's off the track. McConey, unfortunately, off the track as well. Good start for KXI. He's up into 9th. 4-star now. He will not last long there, 4-star. Their mediums will start to struggle now, and it'll only be a matter of time until they get through. But look at the queue now behind 4-star. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, and it's not going to get any smaller until he does. pit. He's going to have to hold it on for a few laps if he's stayed
Oh,
this long.
Tomes has gone. Tomes in a wall. Left end plate damage, and McLaren have an awful restart from McLaren.
Lucky he ghosted there, otherwise it would mean two McLarens taking each other out.
Yeah, an awful restart for McLaren. They've got to watch out this sharp right-hander, which will quite easily take drivers out if they're not careful. If they all approach it. Lap 15, more than halfway through now, and as it stands, Nelu Safu will be your champion. Alpha gets a penalty as well. Looks like everyone's got away well. There's a couple of connection issues for a few of them. Jenga's seems to have lagged out as well, and he's losing place now. But an awful restart from the Tony Martin Tobes. And of course, Stroud, who lost it before the restart, into the wall.
Yeah, current finishing positions, Nelu Safu.
Tobes
again. Current finishing positions, Nelu Safu leads here. So he leaves here with a 35-point lead for the championship. So he really does. He's in a strong position.
Of course, one little mistake, and DC just got to make sure he's there until the final moment of this race. So that's all he can do.
Nelu looking to
getting
move on four-star. He's alongside him. I don't really think four-star has the tyres to fight this. Giving me a very nice camera angle here. I can see behind DC trying to get past Leo. He doesn't want to be held up too much here. We want Leo to get past four-star as soon as he can, so he doesn't get left behind. Of course, going to have the DRS starting next lap, but here Nelu Safu is going to start pulling away from four-star, and that might very much be the end of DC.
Nelu Safu 13 laps away from the title, but of course DC at the moment doing all he can to make sure it goes to the very last corner of this race, and he gives it his all. At the moment, he's doing a good job. Like I say, he's got to wait on a mistake from Nelu Safu, which is possible, but he'll want to try and capitalise now and push on Nelu Safu. He's got to try and get past Leo, and of course Four-Star, who is due a pit stop very soon in this race.
Sorry to interrupt. Jenga's internet did drop, so you get to chuck him an invite head, so I don't have to do it on stream.
It's fine.
Yeah,
that's sorted now.
Leo,
Jenga
right
boy, what is it? Jenga boy?
Yeah, Jenga boy with two A's, and B-O-I, not Y.
Yeah, perfect.
I think we're going to see Leo get four-star hit down into turn one at the very least. We're seeing with DRS down at the second straight. I think he might be waiting for the second straight actually, not really near enough to go for it here, but four-star really going to be struggling those old tyres now. 16 laps.
Lars going for a bit of a dive on Trundle there. No contact, but Lars might come back at him. There's contact between the two. The rear left of Trundle making contact with the front of Lars. I mean, Lars had a massive crash last week, didn't he, in Belgium, midway through the race.
There we go, Leo.
He's lost 2 places there, Lars, as well.
Yeah, and he's still right on tail of Last. Oh my!
Oh, he's off. Lefty span, of course. He has ghosted.
He's backwards.
This time.
And the two Ferraris are fighting away. What's happening here?
There's 5 of them fighting. It's a mental. Oh, damage! I saw an M plate. Whose was that? I saw an M plate. Was it a Ferrari M plate?
I can see all 4 Ferrari M plates.
What was it? It was definitely damage.
Tobes really struggling back there.
I'm not too sure where the damage is coming from. Yeah, he's off again, Tobes. Off again.
Jenga Boy now rejoined, which is good news for him.
Where's Cakes? I'm
just caught the end of that. Oh, and what Deluxe's going. Oh, he's got the gravel.
Oh, look! He's out!
He's off!
He's out the race! Oh, what is that?
Front right tyre gone.
And
that's a safety car! And I tell you what, Jenga's absolutely celebrating because he lost all his positions while he was disconnected.
But I tell you who's not celebrating. DC, because this is going to make even more frustration now. As they all come in, they're all going to put softs on, aren't they? Oh, that was for mediums. I think if they've got fresh softs here, they'll put them on. DC goes for softs. DC on the softs, Nelly on the mediums.
Leo also on the mediums.
Here we go. This could spice up the race.
Also,
I mean, what I would say, been 2 poor safety cars now. So what was the luck he doing?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what happened there. We've got Alpha, who's only on full up on tyres. If he didn't have those penalties, then he'd be a little done for. It is just 3 seconds. So if he didn't have those penalties, he'd be in a very good position. Christo is in a very good position here. And then, of course, Lars and Clerpiard are slightly older tyres, but actually they might do all right on them. Given they're the mediums, only had a few laps. Remains to be seen.
I mean, it's not a great safety car for DC because it allows Nelu Safu to get closer and closer now.
I think Clerpiard's got some... Well, actually, it was showing damage. the spanner's now no longer red, but not
Two
sure.
very strange safety cars, though, isn't it? I mean, Deluxe and KXI there were both off the track. I mean, obviously, Jay Bradfield couldn't help the DSQ, but the DNF from Deluxe was. I mean, Deluxe has been in the battle for the win for a lot of the race. It's a very strange one.
Yeah, first we had, who was it? KXI went wide, and then Deluxe kind of followed him after, got caught in the gravel, and then from there spun off into the wall. And yeah, just lost a tyre. And now down to 18 drivers, 18 laps down.
Now,
Cal Cohen's in the chat. Hello. Shame you can't be here for the race today. Oh, I didn't.
Now, what I will say is, and what is an interesting one, DC on the softs, Nelly on the mediums, and only one car between them. Now, if DC can set some great pace on these softs and get ahead of Nelly Safu and start putting, I mean, DC, you'd say at the moment, there's 11 laps to go, but I think he can just about get these softs to the end. They'll start to feel a little bit slippery and slimy towards the end, but over these next sort of 5, 6, 7 laps.
Oh, hang on, who's that into the pit lane? Was that Marty or Tobes? Oh, Tobes is a lap down, isn't he?
I think DC could potentially. Oh, he's in a pit stop. I think DC here could potentially be the race favourite. Looking at the medium runners at the front, they're not old mediums by any means. They're not great. Nelly and Leo, of course, their mediums will come into life towards the end of the race. But over these next 6, 7 laps, I think DC can get past Leo and Nelly Safi, which of course is easier said than done. I think DC could be in a good position here to push on for at least a podium, but if not a race win. But we will see.
Yeah,
Shout and Lefty come into the pits, don't they?
They're both onto the soft tyres, and more people would think the soft tyres are the one to go for. And it may look like quite a lot of laps, but what they're not remembering is there's only actually 10 laps of racing because of the laps under safety car. So even if the soft tyres say more than that, laps actually racing is only going to be 10 laps, and that's assuming the safety car comes in this lap. Yeah, a shame for Tobes, because where was it Tobes qualified? Was it third? 2,000th of qualifying on the front row for him. Given he's not the fastest driver in this tier, he would have been really happy with that. It did say, what was it he reckoned? He reckoned he was going to finish 12th, and in the end, not going to finish the race at all. But yeah, shame.
It's a shame. It is a shame for Tobes. It's never nice when you're in the last race of the season in a DNF. You know, everyone wants to end on a high. You know, I ended on a high here on Monday, got my first points in the wheel, and the amount of confidence it gave me already for next season. Although next season we'll be on a new game, of course, it'll be so different, but it does give you a boost. And I think it's always a shame when you don't end the last race. You know, you want to end on a high, of course. You want to start on a high, but I think this title race is still open. I think Nelly Safu's in a good position. Don't get me wrong. I think he's in a great position, but I don't rule out DC here climbing to the front. And you never know. And Nelly Safu has a tricky restart. You get
we've got another lap. So there's only been 9 laps racing on the soft tyres.
It's good for DC.
Better for DC. I've stuck the graphic up again. Remember, Nelly Safi finishes in the top 6 and he wins.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it really is in Nelly Safi's favour here.
I still think there's another twist to come here, though. Yeah, I really do. I think something could happen here. I don't know what it'll be. I might be wrong, but I just feel DC soft. They're going to get to the end now. They're going to be fine. He'll set some great pace on them, or you'd expect him to over the next sort of 6, 7 laps. Not saying that Nelly will be slow or medium by any means, because he won't, but we know how quick DC is on soft around this circuit. So I think this could be interesting, especially like you say with the lads at the front, the top 5 all on the older mediums. They're going to have to defend him. It's going to be an interesting end to this race, an interesting end to the season as well.
Yeah, Bailiff here saying he did 9 laps on the softs and he felt happy with them there. So having this many laps behind the safety car, great news for DC, especially all those other guys on the soft tyres. KXI, it'll be nice to see what he can do on the wheel.
Yeah. Well done to the power as well, of course, on the older mediums, but doing a good job of getting into that top 5. Well done to Bailey Falloway, of course, won the Tier 4 Championship here on Monday.
Yeah.
Big well done to him.
We had Rome last Thursday, then Monday we had Quick Killer Tier 3 and Bailiff Tier 4. So this is the only CRL title yet to be decided.
And it's still yet to be
Nelly
decided.
Safi versus DC, and yeah, we still haven't really got an answer to it, as Leo nearly brake checking DC there. That would have been an anticlimactic end.
I think DC just wants to get... Leo has been great this race, but what Leo has done is he's put himself in between them both.
Yeah, it feels like he's working for Nelly Safi, doesn't it?
It's like he's Nelly Safi's security guard here.
There we go. We knew it was going to come. Safety car in this lap, but now it's up to Club Yard to dictate pace, decide when he wants to go. Hopefully not cause too much of an issue.
This will be interesting because you've got the top 5 defending on all the mediums. You've got DCKXI Underboss, of course. Underboss got a podium last week. He'll want to get a podium again. He's got every chance of doing so. Then you've got Nelly and Leo, of course, on the fresher mediums, but they'll be under pressure from a lot of soft runners here. So it's going to be great. And let's see when PR gets us underway here for the second and possibly final safety car restart.
It's still not gone. There we go. Finally gone. And hang on, DC's already passed Leo. Was that before the line?
He's passed Nellu as
well.
Okay,
XI as well.
Wheel into turn 1, and DC's got the advantage. He got past Nellu. Into turn 1 we go. It's an absolute calamity there. So undid Nellu. Safi's been spun, has he? Oh, he's just saying.
No,
Nellu Safi could have been gone.
Actually, maintain the P6 is Christo offline there.
Both flying.
Yeah, Christo offline.
Look at the
DC's dead.
DC.
Oh my goodness, look at this.
Wow.
Oh no, that's the other. That's Underboss going. I saw a Red Bull going and I thought,
Marty's going to well.
There,
what an absolute chaos.
I had a perfect helicopter camera angle. I just saw the whole crash. Everyone piling in towards turn, what was it, turn 4.
That was
absolutely
mental.
Crazy.
DC's flying.
McConey just let DC through.
Flying.
Yes, McConey didn't want to waste his tyres trying to defend off someone who was inevitably going to get past him. DC already closed in on Claire Piat, and all of a sudden, DC even more of a shout getting this win. If he can finish first, potentially getting the fastest lap on these softs, but not necessarily. Nelu Safi loses a couple more positions to these guys in the softs. KXI currently right behind him. This could all really turn around here.
Now what I'll say is that's one of the most chaotic restarts of the season. It was unreal. I look behind Nelu Safi, and no exaggeration, it's about 7 wide.
Yeah.
The corner.
Right,
mental.
Perfect camera, isn't it?
And Nelu Safi had a couple of close calls there where he was lucky to escape any sort of damage or collisions. DC on course for his first win here. He's about to take the race lead after a blistering restart. We've seen Nelu Safi start the race on fire. We've seen DC start the restart on fire. Nelu Safi, though, up into P4. Lars going to try and fight him back, though. No, he's not.
Oh, hang on. There's
the 2 hash drivers make a little bit of contact there, don't they?
KXI actually having to defend from Leo despite the older tyres. Oh, at the moment there, KXI.
DC is 7 laps away from his first win of the season, but at the moment, a win will not be enough. He will still fall short because Nelu Safi is in 4th and he's right at the back of McConey. Of course, Nelu Safi with much fresher tyres in comparison to the reserve of McConey. What DC wants now?
Oh, hang on! Look how there's
the likes of KXI.
You see, there's 5 people who pit. I think all of them would have been for front wings after that chaotic restart.
It was ridiculous, wasn't it? Absolutely ridiculous. DC's pulled away. He's 2 seconds clear. I mean, the race at the moment is in his hands. But as you mentioned, his first win all season at the moment is still not going to be enough. He's doing all that he can. But at the moment, Nelu Safi in P4, that's enough for Nelu Safi to win the title. But saying that, he's got Lars behind him, Leon behind him, KXI on the softs that will try and put Nelu under pressure. DC will be hoping that any of these drivers can put Nelu under pressure and gain on him because DC's doing all he can at the moment. He can't do any more than what he's doing.
Leon about to pass Lars on the inside, much fresher tyres, and I think that's that move done and dusted. KXI will also be hoping to get past on those fresher.
And DC setting the fast lap as well, so that's another point. Big point, that.
Yeah.
Huge point for DC.
Because him getting fastest lap means that if Nelu Safi finishes 6th, he still gets it. That 1 point makes the difference. Oh!
Leo was
KXI taken out. And this is great news for Nelu Safi, not so great news for Claire PR, for Real DC or for Lars.
And I think KXI's got damage as well. What happened there? I mean, Leo will be livid. He'll be livid. Like you say, for Nelu Safi, it's great. He's miles ahead now of the pack.
Yeah, far less drivers to worry about. DC getting that fastest lap meant that a P6 finish would have been enough, but looking towards the favour of the Romanian driver now.
And like you just said as well, it was a great opportunity. Leo would have been one of the drivers that would have pressed Nelu Safi, would have pushed Nelu Safi. We had the pace to do so.
Yeah, Leo, and the other one was KXI. If those two had fought him, got past him, then that would have been enough for DC getting the fastest lap. And those two taking, well, actually KXI still in the equation. I don't know if he has damage or not, but certainly lost some bit of gap.
Nelu Safi's above McConey now as well into the P3.
I think
so
McConey
away
perhaps, I think McConey may have actually let him through. He did the same for DC when he came through. I think trying to deciding to not fight the title contenders, just let them through, let them have their own fights, as it happens on the track.
Yeah. Well, Lewis Hamilton's about to get second here, which he just won. The DC having a brilliant race. He's flying ahead at the front. No one's near him, but Nelus after up to second means that he's just slipping away from DC. But he's leading the race. He's got the fastest lap. He can't do any more than that. He cannot do any more than what he is doing, and he's just going to hope that Nelus going to have a bit of a slip up here. But longer it goes on, Nelus after looking comfortable in second now. I mean, like you say, the closest competitor to Nelus after was Leon, and he's now in the pits for fresh off. So his fight's gone. It's over for him. So.
Yeah, we've got this battle for P8 here. Strauss and De Wil through
as well.
the S's. Strauss has got the tyres, De Wil's got the experience, that the both of them have had play in Tier 1 at times. Oh no, they haven't. Strauss has never been in Tier 1, what am I on about? I think. De Wil certainly had plenty of time in Tier 1.
Underboss getting past Martin. Two drivers have got podiums last week. Martin, the race winner, Underboss in third last week. They're battling for the P10 position. But the longer it goes on now, you think it edges towards Nelu Safu.
Aston Martin driver.
Very close to the back of McConey. Not been able to make a move just yet. I mean, KXI is probably the most likely now to be able to push Nelu Safi, but his soft will start to deteriorate over the next few laps. Still a chance for a safety car, of course, as well, which would spice things up, but that looks like it is unlikely now with these laps progressing very quickly. We're now on to lap 25. Nelu Safi is 5 laps away from the championship, despite DC being 4 seconds clear. In the race, I mean, I suppose it'll be a nice ending for them both because DC will get a race win.
Yeah, and Nelu Safi get the title.
And KXI. And McConey and KXI getting very close there as well. I mean, DC doing all that he can at the moment. He's flying. He's been brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And Leicester getting past Ronda as well. There's still a few that could put Nelly under pressure in, but they've got to get the foot down, you know. Fleur PR on the old... I mean, KXI's flying at home, by the way. KXI could be the one to try and hunt down Nelly, but of course, even that wouldn't be enough for DC. It's going to take a big twist now to switch the championship from Aston Martin to Red Bull. But a great drive from DC nevertheless. I mean, he's 4.5 seconds clear. He looks like that gap's getting bigger and bigger. He's cruising. I mean, that restart was brilliant. Look,
definitely the right decision for him to go onto soft.
Wide open, isn't it? Yeah, 100%. Great decision. Great call.
Something that
what I would say
is
the final podium position's wide open. No,
yeah,
sorry, I was going to say the final podium position's wide open there.
Yeah, something to point out, and someone has correctly pointed out. DC did overtake. This person said 2. I thought it was only 1 car before the start line, so potentially going to get penalised for that. I cannot remember what the rule is on overtaking before the start line. So there is definitely a rule. I can't remember what it is. Yeah, DC. I can't remember who it was. He got past, but he did get past 1 car before the start line. I'm trying to find now the rule about that.
KXI up into third, McConey up into fourth. What a drive. The 2 Tier 3 reserves that are currently 3rd and 4th respectively. Absolutely outstanding from them both. KXI was getting quicker and quicker and quicker on the wheel every single week.
He's just got the 2 Williams in 1 corner. Not quite. Oh no, he's off in the wall.
He's out. That could be a safety car. That could be huge.
I think it's too late. Is it going to be safe?
It is a safety car. Oh, wow.
But they can't afford
what an impact, what a crash. And DC's race win could be at risk. He might not even get the race win.
So we're going to have lap 27?
Seconds clear. His race win was done, he won the race.
I think we're only going to have 1 lap under safety car, aren't we? We're going to have lap 27 under safety car, and then there'll only be 2 laps of racing. Catch up? You've
got to feel for DC, yeah. I mean, his race win's now at risk. It was done, it's 9 seconds clear, it was done. And now all of a sudden his race win's at risk. Everyone's going to be behind him, so maybe DC won't even get his win now. Yeah, it was a massive crash. How many pit for softs? I mean, how many are going to put the softs on now right at the end? This will be interesting.
Yeah, 4-star's done it, and that's the right decision for him. Assuming he even makes
it
to the line.
Will 4-star catch up? No, that's the thing. I don't think he will. Who will pit then? Does Nellis have a jump pit? Does he say where he is? Surely. But I bet a few will pit, you know. Just put them on at the end for a push. But how many in the grid will catch up? That's the big question. That is the big question here. Who pit? Any of them going to pit? Oh, Club has pitted.
Yeah, there is a couple.
Strauss is pitted. Oh, they're all coming in.
That's 3. Actually,
they will be rapid at the end of this race.
Clerpio on his tyres, it makes sense. Yeah, they've got a huge gap behind them. So, Rosilia, I'm not sure if CRL has the same rules. I just looked through the rule book and I couldn't find anything about the safety car line, interestingly. I thought there was something in there. But I don't think DC broke a rule. I think he might just be okay with that.
And I tell you what's interesting is a lot of the boys at the back that have just put on fresh softs, of course, that were involved in some form of collision on the last safety car restart. So all of a sudden, if they can catch up, and it's a big if they can catch up, they'll have a chance at the end of the race. They're on great time. Look, if you're McConey now and Nelu Safu, I mean, is Nelu Safu in trouble here? I mean, he could be. There's a genuine chance that Nelu Safu could be in trouble. I mean, look at how many drivers are on the fresher softs. I mean, what Nelu Safu needs now, for one, is safety cars to come in quickly, but also for McConey to defend for his life behind him.
Yeah, but also...
I think this could still be open for the championship here, you know.
One mistake by Nelu Safu, and he gets swallowed alive by all those drivers in fresh soft tyres.
I mean, does it come in this lap?
But
I hope it does.
I really hope this is the order they finish in. DC finally getting his win, Nelu Safu getting the championship, and beating everyone else apart from his championship rival, but still getting the title.
Come on, bring it in now. Let's have some racing, because to be fair,
give us 2 laps.
Yes. And to be fair, by the time it comes in, the likes of Marty, even down to Christopher, will probably caught up. So other than Forster, it's a 15-horse race, and look how many of the drivers are on fresh softs. Could Nelu Safu be at risk here with 2 laps to go? I mean, this championship is still not done yet. It is going right to the wire. Because they are going to catch up. They've all got apart from Forster, unfortunately. And look how many of them are on softs. I mean, Forster obviously won't be in the mix, but 2 laps of softs, 4 laps of softs, 0 laps
when does DC go?
This is huge. Here we
go.
Oh
no! That's a little dangerous. There we go. He's going now and waited very late. I think he waited too late there. Nelu Safu on the inside already, and this is not how he wanted it to restart. It looks like he will be able to hold around the outside. I'm not sure. Nelu Safu, a small lock up there for DC, and there's chaos behind. No one's spinning out. There's a house going wide there. That's
if you're DC, you are begging for drivers to put pressure on and overtake Nelu Safu quickly.
They're currently fighting amongst each other here. We've got KXI and McConey side by side. Almost 2 by 2 going into that corner. The 2 Williams side by side for P5 and 6. Strauss just behind the 2 of them. All of those guys.
Strauss and Duel are wheel to wheel here. And Strauss, the Duel's got passing. Duel will be very quick there on these fresh softs as well. But at the moment, Nelu Safu is still second. It's a big lunge.
Underboss into the wall. Yep, Underboss. Just saw him going flying off into the wall.
Pulling for DCs at the moment. Nelu Safu is still comfortably second. No one's really near him. So DC's still on for his win.
Yeah, and of course,
P2 is more than enough for Nelu Safu.
We're not going to have DRS re-enabled as well. There's only 2 laps under the racing. You can see here, still plenty going on back here. So much infighting. I think Nelu Safu's going to be alright here.
Yeah, I think he is as well. Strauss, I think everyone's really put him under pressure.
Past the first Williams on the old
tyres.
Hang on,
Duel move, that is.
Very nicely then. Leslie on old soft tyres, so he's going to be struggling on those.
1 lap to go. Oh, Nelu Safu's got a pen! Oh my
That might be the title.
Oh my word!
And Leslie's had contact with Leo, and that's...
Oh my word!
Nelu Safu going to be absolutely kicking himself. There's a yellow flag
on
there.
The last lap of the season has potentially just lost the title to DC.
Do you know what? Current finishing positions, he does lose the title.
Oh my god.
But if there's more infighting, he might be okay, and there is a lot of infighting at the moment.
Oh my god. There's yellow flags all over the show at the back. There's chaos at the back as Alpha's got off as well. But, wow. 1 lap to go, and we still look who's going to be champion here. It's chaos. Absolute chaos as Strauss and McConey.
Is going to get it. They've done so much fighting now that it is enough.
Oh my word.
Exactly, there was a moment there where he technically wasn't going to finish in second. He was going to finish down in 7th. But now enough fighting.
I think KXI will beat him. KXI will definitely beat him.
Oh yeah, KXI's got him, but Strauss too far back. Just way too much fighting between them. Oh my goodness.
That's true. DC's eyes would have lit up when that penalty came up. I think he thought that was it. But DC's going to win the race here. And it still might not be enough, but Nelu Safu could not avoid any more slips. I mean, he's a lucky boy, Nelu Safu. Because that could have quite easily thrown away the title. I think what a drive from KXI. Will Strauss get on the podium ahead of his teammate? Possibly not.
There's a huge battle here for P6 still, but I'm going to hop on board with DC as he is going to get his first win of the season first win since I don't even know what season it was, but here we go. Your very own head admin DC wins the race. Nelly Safi finishing P2 except penalty. I think going to bring that down to P4. Yeah, it is.
Fourth.
That's still enough for him to win. And then we've got Will 6, everyone coming towards the line off that crazy battle.
Wow. I tell you what, well done to McConey. He brings home a P5. That is incredible drive. 20 laps on the medium. Well, what I will say is, DC and Nello Safi give it absolutely everything there.
And Strauss
And
finishing
DC
it
could have
off
done any
with
more.
Strauss finishing it off with the podium.
Yeah. Wow.
4 stars. A bit
And you
fun
just
crossing the
thought,
line.
didn't you, when that penalty come up as DC got it? He couldn't have got any closer, DC. He's so close. But of course, that will not be enough. But he does get that first win. He does get the win, which I'm sure he will take with open arms. I mean, well done to them both. What a battle. DC does get the win, but unfortunately, it's not enough for the title in the end. But KXI, 18th to 2nd, as a reserve driver, that is unbelievable, by the way.
Yeah, now we do have
That's
to
ridiculous.
say, while we haven't got Nelly Safi, we're saying he's the champion, that is provisional. There is still time for penalties to come through. So,
Yeah.
you know, on paper he's won, but can't confirm yet.
Oh no.
I mean,
but
what an
I
end.
mean, as much as I want to give DC the drive, I think I've got to give KXI. 18th per second is a ridiculous drive for a reserve. But well done. I mean, well done to all three. We'll hear from DC, KXI, Strauss, and Nelly. Hopefully,
Yeah.
from all four of them tonight. But I mean, DC could not have done much more there. He could not have done much more at all. I mean, 40 points, his first win of the season, a brilliant driver. A dominant drive which was potentially at risk with that late safety car. Nello Safi, I mean, that penalty, what that could have done is huge. I mean, it could.
Oh, actually,
have
and in the
thrown it
end,
away.
it was Jenga Boy who got the fastest lap down in P12, so actually DC didn't get that in the end. Would have needed Nelly Safi to finish 7th to get that. But yeah, DC getting that win, I'm sure he'll be happy enough with that. I don't think he was expecting the title. I'm sure there would have been times where he was hoping it might happen, but in the end, I think he'll be fairly happy with how that race turned out.
We've got our first podium sitter,
My
Mr.
God.
Strauss.
Oh my god, guys. What a race. Oh my fucking god. I'm shaking.
How are you feeling?
Well, this was so fucked up. I was dead last after the first safety car. And now I'm P3. I can't believe it. And my teammate's a champion, so couldn't be better.
Your teammate, the champion, by the skin of his teeth, he went to the wire. I mean, it was so close. One more lap, and Nello Safi could have lost that. You never know. It was crazy. I mean, well done to you, mate. What I want to say to you, first of all, is to come from Tier 3 runner-up to, I believe, 4th in the championship in Tier 2 is a fantastic season, so very well done.
Thank you, mate. Thank you. Yeah, I was doubting if Nelu would get the championship if he got 4th, but I was pretty sure, so I went full out for the last lap for get the podium.
Yeah, Nelu could have still won the title, even if he finished P6 with DC winning it.
Oh, really? Ah, great. Yeah, what a race. Oh my god.
Congrats on your
Are you
podium.
tired?
Well, I'm honestly shaking from adrenaline. I'm honestly shaking.
Great drive, though, mate, and a brilliant end to what has been a great season. I've said many
Yeah,
times...
phenomenal season.
I've said many times, you and Nello Safi have been some team this season, consistently every week. So,
Yeah,
great end to the season, mate, and I hope, I mean, for you next season, whether you'll be in Tier 1 or not, I'm not too sure, I don't decide that, but whatever happens, it's been a brilliant season for you, mate, very well done.
Thanks, mate. Thanks.
Yeah, and then
think we
DC,
want
you
to-
won
I
a
think
race.
DC won a race. Whoop whoop.
And, DC,
How
I
do you
got to
feel?
ask.
Talk to us.
It's bittersweet and it's painful at the same time.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw, but that moment where the penalty flashed up for Nello Safi, he actually would have finished 7th. He would have got the win if the others weren't fighting so much.
Yeah, I
title-wise.
know already.
But
Wow.
sure, a win.
How
better
did
than
you
nothing.
react when that penalty come up, truthfully?
Oh.
What did you think?
I didn't. I just knew that after that safety car again, I thought that was it. I thought a win had gone away from me already again. but the penalty came up, and I just knew I had to keep it on track. My tyres were on like 60, and yeah, I don't even know what to think.
Did you panic when the safety car came out right at the end that your win was at risk?
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. Like, oh mate, you should have heard the reactions. I was just not again, just not again.
You couldn't have done much more though, mate. I mean, you qualified.
I did everything I needed to do.
It was brilliant. Yeah,
I did everything I needed to do. That little scrap at the end between those three drivers has cost me it.
Well, you didn't see. I don't know if you've seen. You probably wouldn't have seen it, but there was a big collision involving Leon and I think it was KXI as well. On one of the restarts, my mind frazzled me.
Yeah.
I can't know how you feel.
I got to look at one of our restarts because I got an absolute rocket on. I think I went from P8 to P3 in one corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I saw that. Whoa.
Yeah, it was.
It was sick, man.
If I'm known for anything, it's my my Bahrain safety car restarts. You can ask anyone. Going back a few seasons, you know, it was my specialty when I got that P4 in Tier 1. But mate,
you couldn't have done any closer, mate.
I couldn't have done anything else.
You've got your race win. It's your third ever win in Cone, I believe. I think that is. And you've won a race. I mean, it's a fully deserved win. The amount of podiums you've got this season, you've not DNF'd the race, which is a brilliant effort. I mean, of course, this is not done yet. Of course, stewarding may play a part. You know, this is all provisional.
But did Nelly really? He didn't do anything, did he?
Nelly has now joined us.
Hello, guys.
Hello, congratulations on the title.
Hello.
Congrats, Nelly.
Thanks very much.
Are you happy?
I'm very happy.
Finally joining us for a post-race interview after, I think this is his 9th podium of the season.
It was amazing for me. Congrats, Real DC.
Yeah, there was I don't know what to think, mate. I don't know what to think.
Well, Nelly, I mean, it's nice to actually hear from you. You've been the mystery man all season. We've not heard your voice yet, but very well done, mate. I mean, how did you feel after getting that late penalty, that 3-second penalty at the end? Did you panic? Did you think, oh, I've thrown it away?
Wow, was misled. He didn't show me any warnings. And he lost nothing. Yeah. I pushed and...
Yeah, mate, you did it in the end. It's a very, very good result, mate. And of course, there's stewarding to come, but it looks like you'll be just the Tier 2 champion. So, I mean, how would you feel? I mean, you must be over the moon with that. Very happy.
Yeah.
Very well done, mate. Very, very well done. Thank you for joining us. Nice to actually hear from you. Thank you for joining us. And very well done for this season, mate. I think you're going to be the champion, so we'll see you in Tier 1 next season.
Yeah, congrats, Nelly, mate. Well deserved.
Congrats. No.
That's not what happens, mate. That's normally what happens when you win a champion. You go up, mate. So we'll
No. That too.
Well, hopefully we'll see you guys in Cone Cup first. Gonna have that. I don't know when exactly it's going to be, but in a few weeks, I think.
I'm very happy.
You should be very happy, mate. It's a fantastic season. You worked very hard and you was brilliant. So, well done, my friend. And thank you for joining us for a chat. It's nice to actually hear from you. So well done. I think KXI's been waiting a while, hasn't he? Should we get KXI?
Yeah.
Should we have KXI? He's been very patient, hasn't he? Very patient.
Finally,
back, boys.
Yeah. Now on your wheel, getting podiums in Tier 2. Guess that's got to be a nice feeling.
Oh yeah, it feels good. I'm drenched right through. That was a fucking sweaty one, but it's good to be back for sure.
Not bad for a Tier 3 driver, that is it? Tier 2 reserve. Well, it was not normally a Tier 2 reserve. It's just for tonight. But
no, just full-time Tier 2. Yeah, I mean, I know the grid. I know some of the drivers. It feels like home to me. So hopefully, it can be back next year. But yeah, this was a good one. I got lucky with the safety car restarts and things. So
how did you get on in Bahrain on Monday? May I ask?
Well, I went alt strat, so I tried to get P11, but I got P12 on quali, and then alt strat went just a little bit too long on the mediums, and I couldn't get any positions back. So I think I finished like P5 or P6 in the end behind McConey. so not quite as good a
So
race today,
you've
but-
done better tonight than you have on Monday.
Yeah, but there was no safety cars. I was banking on a late safety car on Monday, and it just didn't come, and it screwed me a little bit. But
Yeah, there was a few tonight, weren't there? A couple of safety
Yeah.
cars. A very late one tonight.
yeah, that saved me. And then Nelu got that, had time penalty as well. So I was like, oh, just bush.
DC, you have Fanatec?
No.
No.
No, I started the season on the G29, but because of my arthritis, I had to move back onto pad.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I was going to say, first of all, thank you to all of you for not just for tonight, but for this season. Because without you lot, there'd be no driving, there'd be no commentary. So, thank you to you all. And that goes to everyone, all of the drivers, all the reserves that have covered races this season. Whether it's one race or 10 races, you've made it, and you made the league what it is. So it's been a pleasure commentating you all. I've loved every moment of it. And DC, so unlucky, mate. You couldn't have done any more than that. But a brilliant season, a brilliant win. I'm so happy you won a race. You deserved it. And Nelly,
Yeah, well done.
I mean, a brilliant effort all season, mate. So you can't ask for any more than that. So thank you to you all. Thank you to Strauss, of course, and to KXI as well for joining us tonight.
Thank you guys. You did a brilliant job.
As a head admin, boys, if anybody listening to the YouTube, everyone in here, just thanks for racing all season. Thanks for making CRL the community it is. We really appreciate everyone sticking with us through everything. We know there's lots of ups and downs, as we can see from this race and plenty of the other races. But we do appreciate every single one from Tier 1 down to Tier 4, all the reserves, all the admins that put in the hard work. We appreciate all of you. So thank you.
There you go.
I've just
There
seen
you
that
go.
Strauss did a 5-stop. So
Yeah, man.
Jeez.
I was dead
left in
last.
your pit. Well, I mean, that's it. Let go Australia down to Bahrain, and we're done. It's been an amazing season, and like DC said, so many ups and downs. But every driver, every admin, every commentator, everyone that does everything behind the scenes makes it what it is. And we look forward to the next one. Like I said, I'm sure there'll be a Crown Cup of some sorts that will come over the next few weeks, and then we'll see you all in the new game, F1 2022, and that'll be a new challenge in itself. Whether we'll see some of these boys in Tier 1, I would imagine so, but of course I don't make any decisions, and we'll have to wait and see. But like you say, great effort.
Yeah, just 8 points difference at the end. I don't know if it's been said yet, but GC 8 points behind Nelly Safi after all was said and done. So
don't make him feel any better.
No.
I just where would he would have had to finish a couple more places down, wouldn't he? So
yeah, P7.
Yeah.
But you take you in, mate, and you've done what you needed to do. You know, it's a brilliant end for you. That I know you've not won it, and it's so close, but you've won a race. You wanted to win a race. You deserved to win a race, and let's say you took it to the wire. So you can't do any more.
Yeah, I did say to Nelu that I wouldn't make it easy for him tonight, and I think I did exactly that. You know,
100%.
Me and him have had many races all season because he's always been about 25 seconds ahead of me. But tonight, as I said before the race, this is my track, and I proved it tonight. So,
guys, thank you all for joining. It's been an absolute pleasure this season. I'm sure we'll hear from you all again next season.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thanks, boys. Cheers.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Take care, guys. And there you have it. Thank you to the four of them for joining us, and well done to Nelu for winning the title. It was so nice to hear from him. So nice to actually hear from him after so many wins and podiums this season. It was great to hear from him, and he deserves the title. I mean, you could argue that Cal Cohen missed plenty of races, and he would have been in the mix. DC so close as well, but all of them, even the boys at the bottom, even down to Captain Nick at the bottom, everyone has played the part. They've competed. They give the time up every week to race, and we've enjoyed. I know we've loved it, haven't we?
Oh yeah, it's been great.
And roll on the next one, of course. I'm sure we'll get some more information on the Cone Cup over the next coming days and weeks, and then obviously we'll be on the new game, and it'll be a brand new season on a brand new game, which could be
they haven't announced the Cone Cup format yet, have they?
I don't believe so. Not that I'm aware of.
I am privy to the information, but I will leave it to the announcement.
Oh.
It does, it seems like it's going to be really fun. I'm not going to be racing myself, but I guess we're going to see you on track, Hedge, aren't we?
I don't see why not. We'll give it a go. Why not? It'd be rude not to, wouldn't it? It'd be rude not to.
But yeah, no, it looks like it is going to be a good one. So yeah, from us, thank you for the season.
Pleasure.
We
Absolute
had
pleasure.
15
Thank
races
you for having us.
plus pre-season. I think I worked it out, despite the fact I missed one, I've
Very much,
commentated 18 races
Thank you,
this
Nelly.
season.
Well done, mate. Very well done,
Well
pal.
See you next season.
Yeah.
Yeah, see you next season.
See you next season.
And you two guys are phenomenal.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, mate. Thank you, mate. Well done tonight, pal. I didn't know he was still here. He snuck in.
I did, but it's just been quiet. There we go. It's headed off now. Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to both Cone Cup. It's been so much fun commentating this season. We've had 15 rounds plus the pre-season. I know I've done some in Tier 3 and 4 as well, actually. Normally I can't do that time, but I've had 3 days where I was able to do it. So, more commentating than normal for me. But
Yeah, even I did a Tier 4 race in Monza. I didn't expect to do it either. But no, it's been great. And then again, I'm sure you'll all hear from everybody's still in the stream. Again, Tier 1 age racing now, so go and join them in a moment. But yeah, it's been great to all the people in the stream that have commented, should I say, and supported us, all the drivers, admins, etc. It's been great, and it's a shame that it's over. We'll miss it over the next few weeks, but it'll soon be here again. It's nice to have a break, and it'll soon be here again. But yeah, it's been great. It's been from Australia in the first race down to tonight. It's been great. Loved it.
yeah. Yeah, I guess, I don't know how many, I'm going to very quickly see if they've given a rough timeline for when they intend to do Cone Cup, so I can at the very least save that, but I don't think it's been said. Okay, so it sounds like I might have registration open next Monday.
Okay, that's good.
So it is going to be really in the next week or two.
Yeah.
So yeah, people who are drivers are still listening, keep your eye open for that.
Perfect.
It is going to be a good, fun format. It's going to be, again, with teams, but you can all find out how it's done later. For now, stop watching us, go watch Tier 1. They are still racing. Well, no, they've just started racing, actually. They're on lap 4 at the moment.
Yeah, go and watch them, and we'll see you all next season.
Yeah, thank you for watching.